These
what,
last 2 weeks are
happened here.
difficult.
Yeah, they've been it's very condensed. Like we could probably sum it up pretty easily. You guys stole a ship, then you managed to not crash the ship. And now you have crew and lizard man diplomats question mark and illegal goods. I think that kind of sums it up pretty well. I know there's been a lot more to it than that, but that kind of, I think, succinctly puts us where we need to be. So, yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this thing. All right. I'm going to take us over to the ship, mostly just for looks and flavor at this point. You guys have been provided with a list of the people who surrendered to you. It's been added to your shared Google Sheets inventory. And there's also a tab that has stats for the ship. So you guys can check all that stuff out if you'd like. And let's see, what else is going on? There's that. And yeah, I think we need to kind of just continue where we left off. You guys had a grocery list of things that you wanted to deal with tonight. So I think we should try to knock those out as quickly and succinctly as possible. So let me see. The grocery list that I last saw, there was a lot of toothless questions. There was a lot of requests for Thogrim to cast his own truth. There was a lot of discussion about what to do with the guns and what to do with the lizard folk. Okay. So yeah, like you two guys take it away. If you cannot decide what to do, in an orderly fashion, I will throw everybody up into essentially initiative order, or just go round robin through everybody and be like, what are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to accomplish? To make sure that everybody has a chance to kind of be heard in this, because these are might not seem like it, but these are campaign shaping decisions that you are about to make. So whatever you decide here is going to change the entire shape of the campaign moving forward. No pressure.
We can use the luck stone as like the magic conch, whereas the conch is the one who can talk.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to walk over.
Have you attuned to this luck stone? I meant to ask. I never.
Yeah, I did. When we were in the cave, I spent the time to attune to it.
Ah, interesting. Okay. I'll keep that in mind moving forward.
Well, you don't have to worry about that anymore, because I actually set it up on my Roll20. But
oh no, I'm sure you did, but I'll just remember it moving forward.
Yeah, I'm going to actually.
Buddy's heart.
Thogrim's gotten pretty tired from working on the ship and whatnot, so I'm gonna walk over. I'm gonna take the luck stone out of my pocket. I'm gonna hand it to Haxel. Good luck, mate. I'm gonna go get a bit of rest. So have at it. And I'm just gonna go downstairs and find one of the cabins.
Sweet.
And pass out.
Okay.
For a long rest.
All right.
I'm gonna make sure I say thank you. And you sure?
What did you hand over? I was sorry.
The stone.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Thanks. I think we should head. I think we were heading back to our spot, right, and anchoring there and offloading a bunch of the silk and the. Oh, so the big question is, what did we find?
What do you mean? What did you find? Like on the ship, like treasure-wise?
Yeah. I think you said they were gonna like put up what we found, or.
Oh shoot! I'm sorry, guys. Man, I could have sworn
I didn't want to bother you about it.
Okay. Okay, hold on. Let me check my notes. Hold on. While I'm doing that, I have to have it written in your notes, but let me just check.
I'll identify whatever there is before I go to sleep.
Okay.
If there's anything crazy.
All right.
Yeah.
Knowing that you're gonna identify and all that jazz. Yeah, let me get that for you real quick. Okay, so keep going without me.
So while he's doing that, we could all talk about the lizard folk a little bit more. I don't know if you guys wanted to maybe Toothless just kind of tell us what you want to do.
Yeah, I think we should learn a little bit more. We should make sure that the Sagan are actually a threat not only to them, but maybe to others. And we should make sure that they're not going to harm any of the softskins that live on the land. And maybe we could ask the sea elf, whatever his name was. Was it Oceanus? Was that what it was?
Oceanus.
Yeah, Oceanus.
Yeah.
We should talk to Oceanus and see if he knows anything about these comings and goings of the Sagan. I feel like more information will be useful before we decide what to do next.
I also kind of want to understand if so like they were making a deal with these people who we stopped the deal, but they said they had already paid for stuff. They said they paid in some kind of metal. What kind of metal was that? And it's still on the ship, or?
Yes, they paid for it. You found it. It was electrum bars.
Ah, okay. All right, cool. All right,
Yeah.
so electrum bars. They have a mine of that. That might be important to note for later. Somewhere. And so we have the guns, and they were bringing the guns back to them. I don't have any problem giving them their guns. We do get to keep the electrum bars.
Now, I'm under the impression that the crew that you spared, you're going to let them keep their belongings, yeah, so that they can live their lives and function properly? Is that a yay or a nay on that one?
I would say yay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean, if like everyone's cool with this, maybe we could just kind of ask like some quick questions to the lizard folk and kind of hopefully feel comfortable giving them the guns. But if they say crazy shit, then obviously not.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough.
We probably ought to ask if anybody on board is carrying anything crazy, like.
The lookout has a musketoon, which is a type of rifle. And they all have asp pistols, so that's highly illegal. So that's, something to think about.
Right, well, we can make some rules about those being concealed when we pull into port. Or they're on their own. Or yeah, that's even better. Unless they search the ship. Which is, I guess, why we want to go offload our goods at the house anyway.
Aye.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure she said we would be able to keep whatever we wanted, but I just feel like it's safer hiding it in that secret room.
Fair enough.
And I saw that picture Nez posted. Did we want to just call our boat the Sea Scrotum? Or
What?
Yeah, San Diego, the San Diego.
okay.
It's German for a whale something. I can't quite remember what it is.
So I guess our plan right now was we need Thalgrim to take the long rest before we can interrogate the captain with Zone of Truth. I think. Because he doesn't have it right now. So I think we're going back to the house. We're offloading the goods. We spend a day just chilling out, and then we take everyone back after we do an interrogation.
I think it's still nighttime.
Well, it's morning now, I think. Or what's the? Hold on.
Oh, is it?
Like,
I think that all took place in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it started at like 1 a.m.
Or
I
6
thought, or
a.m.
something like that.
Yeah, the sun's just coming up. 6 a.m. now.
Okay.
All right. I think you guys already found the 2 potions of healing and the dose of antitoxin that was in the desk and all that kind of stuff. Well, you want me to put that again or no?
I'll just write that down now.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm going to just give it to you all in one list, but.
Oh, cool. Then yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
I think we also wanted to. I'd put it out there. You might want to interrogate the crew as well. Make sure there's no like sleeper agents or a plant or something.
Yeah, like we could just bring them all in one by one. How long does Zone of Truth last?
10 minutes.
It's like 10 minutes. Yeah.
We got rapid fire.
Oh no, is it? How many casts can you do of it?
2.
2.
So
Or
20
less.
minutes. And
All
do
right.
you guys want the zone of truth for the lizard folk, or do you feel okay without it? I could go either way. It doesn't really matter.
I mean, it's like a 15-foot circle, so ideally maybe we get everyone on the deck, and everyone stands in an orderly fashion. We cast it, and then
Exactly 15 feet apart.
let them go.
This is your
we
annual
can do that.
review.
Yeah, that sounds good.
A little group interrogation that with a zone of truth. That sounds pretty baller. I don't want to sell them all the guns. Like maybe half the guns. Yeah, I don't know.
Let's see how many guns do we have, Haxel?
The bad part is,
Alright.
they've probably already been okayed for a certain number of guns. So if we like go back on it, it's going to probably cause an issue. If they only asked for
Ooh.
like, you know, if they didn't ask for a finite amount, then yeah, we can skimp on them. But if they asked for like, oh, we want exactly 100 firearms, then you know.
Well, to be fair, we don't owe them anything at all. Like nothing.
True.
We didn't make any deals with them. Like we could, and they're on our ship. So, but on the other hand, if we want to be like
it.
nice about it, we could give them their money back and tell them to get the fuck out. Or if
I'd
you wanna
rather
be
be
like-
nice than lizard folk, but that's just me and probably toothless.
Yeah, I think we might have some allies, but once again, maybe we can ask them some questions first.
Okay.
Alrighty. Interesting. Okay. Let's see.
What else we got going on? Oh, what do we do with the snake woman? You guys want to turn her over to the quote, air quote, justice system of Saltmarsh. I guess I'm fine with that.
That's just
I don't.
I think contractual
think-
wise, like we should, and then if there's any issues, then I guess we can figure that out in the future. You know.
Yeah, I think it's. I think it's a bad idea, but sure.
I mean, if she.
what else
if
are
she
you gonna
doesn't
do with
agree-
her?
I don't know, drown her, put her in an
Nope.
ocean, or I don't know, like anything else. Like, well, she's guaranteed dead. I mean, so we either give them we give her to them and they kill her because they're a normal shitbox town. That's how they deal with
She'll
anyone that does anything wrong.
sure.
Yeah, or they're corrupt and they just let her go. So it's I don't know.
We just zone of truth everyone.
Okay,
Because-
I think I have everything consolidated. Let me share it over to you guys. Sorry about that. Busy week. Here we go.
You're telling me.
I
Final
also
Classic came out.
wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
I also wonder if she's this much of a pirate, she might be wanted for like a reward in other places too.
We can ask her.
all right, let's do it then. Let's jump in on this stuff.
Oh, we want to check our looter.
But yeah, we've got to offload the boat and everything, and then I'm sound asleep for 6 hours at least.
Wow, look at this high quality mining tools.
Greasy
Yeah, so
playing
the
cards.
lizard folk-
Yes.
The lizard folk had 2,000 gold worth of electrum that they were paying for these guns. So, again, you guys are from a human town. Lizard folk don't have any legal rights to anything. They're barely considered, no offense, Toothless, they're barely considered more than animals. So no one in the town would think less of you for keeping their money and killing them or tossing them over the ship or doing whatever you plan to do. That being said, they are the indigenous people of the region. They have a lot going on right now. Again, whatever you guys decide to do, the campaign will adapt to suit. So the only magic item that you guys found other than those 2 potions of healing would have been the mariner's armor.
That was Oceanus's armor.
No, that was Sigma's armor. Is the mariner's armor?
Where
But we
is
don't.
that?
But we don't know what it does yet. Question mark.
Well, no, sorry. Yeah, when you identify it, you do realize what it does. Let me get you the link for it. It might actually show up in the Roll20 compendium since we have Saltmarsh. Let's see. Nope, of course not. Okay, let me look it up.
I'm pretty sure it just gives you a 30 swim
What
speed
is?
and its armor.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it just gives you a magical swim speed in addition to everything else. But here we go. I got the page for it. While wearing this armor, you have a swim speed equal to your walking speed. In addition, whenever you start your turn underwater with 0 health, this is the nice part, the armor causes you to rise 60 feet towards the surface. The armor is decorated with fish and shell motifs. And it doesn't require attunement, which is nice. So
Ooh.
there
Yeah,
is that.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we have the location we're supposed to meet with the guns. What is this legal distinctions and letters of Marquis by Taser?
Where are we looking at that? 7 maps here. Is that what we're looking at?
No, above 1, 2, 3 paragraphs.
Okay,
above.
legal distinctions and letters of Marquis by Tazar. Okay, this is a book that basically just talks about. It's for smuggling. It's basically like a reference book for forging documents.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is more than likely what she uses as her forgery kit, essentially. So you could treat it as a forgery kit,
Okay.
or simply
Are
just
there-
part of a forgery kit. There you go.
Are there like letters, like titles and stuff for the ship, like for different legal zones?
Oh, it's to get it into different ports and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yes. Tucked into that book, as you kind of rifle through it, you see sort of neatly folded in the back few pages. There are a number of different papers that basically allow the ship to dock at several locations along the Sword Coast and the islands of the Great Sea.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Now, that being said, more than likely, these are places that have been paid to look the other way, or they are places that don't know about the Sea Ghost reputation, or they are places that do and very much like their reputation. Yeah. But it has locations throughout the Moonshay Isles, as well as the Great Sea and the Sword Coast. So there are a number of different ports of call that she has papers for. Good question, by the way.
All right. So questions for the lizard folk. Toothless, add when the rendezvous was supposed to happen.
I can add your question.
All right. Then let's start the offload. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean that's what we need to do first is move towards offloading whatever we're going to offload at the house, and then I would think that would take a few hours with just the jolly boat itself. So that should give me
Okay.
enough time to sleep, and then like midday we can.
Oh, here's another good question. How long can we go before
So
we
are-
start going exhaustion?
Yeah, so if you guys go, I believe it's like 36 hours without a long rest or something like that. You have to start making very easy Constitution saves to avoid exhaustion. I will look it up for sure. But in the meantime, is that the plan then? Is to hold the lizardmen here and the former captain essentially in her underoos tied up, basically, since you guys took her armor?
Yeah, I'd actually like to put her in those manacles that Oceanus was in.
Okay. Now, keep in mind, well, you probably find this out the hard way. Go ahead and give me a Constitution save, Haxel. Okay. Yeah, so as you are kind of suiting her up and getting, not suiting her up, but tying her up and reshackling her and all that jazz, she tries to spit venom at you, but you manage to avoid it. But it could have been very bad for you. It was a very violent kind of burning venom that she kind of unhinged her jaw a little bit and just sort of sprayed it out of her mouth at you, like you want to do. So she can do
Okay.
this. She can do this every round. So you may want to figure out a way to keep her mouth shut, or she will continue to do that.
Could I, I don't know, can I just tell her that her breath is foul and give her a little vicious mockery action?
You can. If you kill her with it, it will kill her though.
Yeah, that's right. It's magical. Okay, never mind.
I'll pull out my rope and start
All right, you just kind of
gagging her. Yeah.
clock her on the back of the head, knock her back out, sort of thing.
Oh no,
Yeah.
the rope.
Oh, okay. You're just gonna start tying her up with the rope. Gotcha.
Yeah, and kind of gag her with the rope.
Okay.
Well, then, but we still need her to
So she
talk
can't spit.
eventually.
All right.
Well, until we're ready.
Yeah.
You know.
And we'll just knock her out. Yeah, tie her up.
Okay. So sounds like you knock her out. You tie her back up. You chain her up. So she's chained up, tied up, and gagged.
Yeah.
And maybe
All
maybe
right.
a little cup of water. No. No. That would be
Alright.
cruel.
Okay. So what next?
Offload.
Again, you guys set the pace here. So you are loading up the jolly boat. You're offloading all of the goods, including the lizard folks' guns and money,
Hopefully not.
because the lizard folk would be interested in one or the other. Like if you take their money, they understand that is stealing. So
Yeah, I'd recommend we leave those on the boat for now. No need to be hasty.
Do they even know where the guns are?
Yeah, I think so.
They do?
I think so. They were showing the guns, and it's like, okay, now take us back. And they were on
Well, I
their way
thought
back.
Toothless found them in like a hidden location.
No, they were just below deck and in like the guest quarters.
well, the guns were in a hidden stash that
Yeah.
Toothless found.
Yeah.
But again, if like, do you have the lizard folk locked away, or are they free to wander the ship?
I think they should be free to wander the ship.
If they're
Yeah.
free to wander the ship, they're going to continuously ask in what might seem to you guys to be a pretty obnoxious sort of toddler kind of way. Like, when you mention that later we'll have cookies, and then the toddler asks you about cookies like every 15 minutes for the rest of the day, like they're kind of like, when will we be returning home? When will we have the guns? When will we be let free? When will we return to our people? Yeah, so they just keep asking these questions over and over and over again.
Well, assuming everyone's cool with this, I think Toothless would say, and feel free to intervene. Um, we'll be aiming to get you home soon. The guns are safe. We'll talk more tomorrow.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, it sounds. I feel like we could keep them with us. We don't have to leave them there at the house with the guns.
But the guns are going in that cave and not with us.
No, the guns will stay here.
With you.
Oh.
Yeah, we can keep
Okay,
the guns
then.
in the hidden stash, I guess.
Again, we make the same offer to you now that you own the guns. You may take our metal bars in exchange for the guns.
That seems. Well, as I said, we just need to kind of offload other things that are not the guns tonight, and we can talk more about this first thing in the morning. I guess it's now in the morning, but like very soon.
We have been adrift on the Great Sea a long time and wish to return home.
I understand. You'll return home soon. Perhaps you could rest for an hour or so, and we'll talk again.
All right. Yeah, she doesn't seem too impressed, but she will go and she will rest. All right, so they kind of close the door to their quarters.
I think we leave the gold on this ship as well because we might need that for the repairs or to pay the crew, or I don't know. How much? It's a lot of gold, right? Or a lot of electrum, right? So how much electrum does it cost to repair a ship?
Well, I mean, electrum is just the shittiest form of metal in Forgotten Realms. It's like a gold silver composite, like a melting of the two metals. The bars themselves are worth 100 gold each because they use a gold standard to measure stuff. So there's that. As far as like repairs on the ship, I believe it's like 10 gold hit point or something like that. It's in the it's in the document. I'll open it up for you real quick. But yeah, having a ship and maintaining crew and keeping the crew's morale at a good level, these are all very expensive things. Like, you don't just until you're like a super rich retired adventurer, you can't really afford to kind of idle about and also somehow maintain a successful ship / fleet. So yeah, these things all weigh heavy on your mind, Haxel, that you are going to need money if you're going to be doing this stuff.
Okay. I'm going to communicate that to the group as well. Like, hey, we're going to need all the coin we can get.
Yeah. So repairing a ship, real quick. Everything's running super slow. Fastest, easiest way to repair it is, of course, with spells. Mending is not enough. Can only fix little crappy things. Fabricate is the best way to do it. But until you have fabricate, more mundane methods can also be used to repair a ship. Basically, it boils down to this. A day of work by a single person using the appropriate skills can repair a ship. Would be 10 GP of raw materials and a DC 10 skill check for 10 points of damage. So it's literally like 1 HP per gold piece, or 1 gold piece per HP. If the check fails, and I can't imagine it would, with Thagrim in charge of it and guiding himself, like, I can't imagine he would get lower than a DC 10. But you would lose the money, and it would only, or so you'd spend the money but only repair 5 hit points. So again, it's not the end. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. It's such a trivial amount that once you guys are rich enough, you'll probably just pay it and not even worry about it anymore. You'll just be like, oh, it's this much to fix the ship.
All right.
Keep in mind, active D&D adventurers can get pretty wealthy pretty quickly. It's the reason that so many people risk their lives to become adventurers, because it's a very risk rewards career path. Alrighty.
Okay.
So then, do we want to offload some of the Electrum bars, and and only keep like a few of them here, or do we feel like this ship is safer than our secret room in our?
I don't know. I don't think it. I don't think it matters particularly where they are, unless we're afraid someone might steal them from us. We'll be on the ship. The guns will be on the ship in the hidden compartment, and then lizard folk are also on the ship because we can't take them away from the guns, and they'll ask why. We can offload everything else.
I mean, it seems like the hidden compartment isn't that hidden from what I understand.
Toothless has a passive perception of like 23, so it's pretty damn hidden. Like, not everybody has Detective Monk, the lizard man, following them around. So
yeah, basic NPC guards that might be assigned to search the ship probably wouldn't.
Not to sound a little salty about the observant feat, but yeah, I mean it pretty much just removes certain aspects of gameplay from the campaign.
All right, well, but the lizards found them, right? You just said the lizard people found them.
No, the lizards knew the guns were on the ship. You guys found the guns. The lizards were freely roaming the ship. The ship is not very big. The lizards, they know the guns are there. They see, they hear and listen. They ask about the guns. That's what's happening. I asked if you moved the guns past the lizard folk to get them off the ship. So the lizards did not find the secret compartment. The secret compartment is a good secret compartment. I don't know what else to tell you to make you feel you're coming across very paranoid right now. Like you have something nice and you're afraid that I'm going to steal it from you. So, like we could be stuck on this ship in this moment for the next like 7 weeks until everybody cancels the D&D game, Haxel. You've got to be willing to move forward with this thing.
Maybe it's past DM fault.
Yeah, like you have to be willing to move forward. Like good things will happen and bad things will happen. That is Dungeons and Dragons, but you have to move past this moment in time. Like if we're not done with this part of the campaign by the end of tonight, I'm canceling the campaign because I can't do this anymore. I need you to move the story along. So whatever zone of truth and interviews you have to do it, but we need to get past this. So make your decisions. Own your decisions, move forward. So, what's the plan? You've moved everything except the guns to the sea caves. I have that written down. That really happened. So, that's happened. Now what?
And we do a long rest for Thorgrim to get Zone of Truth, and then we do an interrogation, and then we head back to Saltmarsh.
All right. So, during the 6 hours that Thorgrim is resting, you guys do your business of taking the stuff to and from the caves. We'll say that eats up about 2 hours of that time. There's another 4 hours of time during which the crew asks if they can take essentially a short rest or the closest thing they can get to a long rest, because they are all very tired from the near-death experience of you guys killing a bunch of them. So they're going to sort of make sure the ship is good. They've helped with repairs. They've helped to bring the stuff to the caves, that sort of thing. But now they are also going to be resting until you guys tell them to do something else. So anyone else have anything they want to do during that sort of 4 hour block there?
I'd like to rest.
Okay. All right. So if you are not part of the team that is offloading goods, you can try to also get a long rest. Otherwise, you would benefit from a short rest.
Okay, so I'll do a short rest and get some health back.
All right. Keep in mind there are bards in the party. If the bards are around when you're short resting, if you spend hit dice, roll 2d6, take the higher of the 2d6s, and add that to whatever hit points you restore. Because they don't stack, but they supersede each other. So whichever bard gives you a better Song of Rest. Nice. All right. So all that's going down.
25. Right. Okay, that's good.
Session, so let's see, 6 a.m. So this puts us around noon on the 23rd of chess. Let me check the calendar, see where things are at. On the 23rd of chess, heavy fog has settled into the region. So this fog will make it very difficult to see. You basically can see about 60 feet in front of you. If you have sharpshooter, you can see further, about 90 or so feet into the fog. So it's heavy fog. It's going to make it very difficult. Any sort of perception checks are going to be at disadvantage. This will shield you guys from being seen, but will also make sailing a little more precarious, especially with you guys being close to shore like this. So the temperature today is going to be a high of 69, a low of 54. A slight wind will be blowing, well, I guess it's not slight, 39 miles at the highest, 15 at the lowest. And that will be kind of blowing to the southeast. So there's just kind of billowing fog everywhere.
Is that towards Saltmarsh? Is Saltmarsh south from
no,
the house?
southeast is towards the coastline and away from Saltmarsh.
Okay, so that'll be even more difficult.
Yeah, Saltmarsh is north of your current location. I have adjusted the currents, the compass, and the wind to accommodate you.
Cool.
Well, why don't we get some questions underway so we can figure out what we're going to do next? We need to talk to Sigma, we need to talk to the lizard folk, and maybe this Oceanus guy.
All right. How many times can you cast the Zone of Truth, Thogrim?
Created.
So pinning what I talked to you about a little while ago, only once.
Oh, okay.
'Cause I have actually no. I take it back
Sigma's the
twice.
most important. Okay. All right. Cool.
Twice.
Okay, so you can
Sorry.
cast it twice then.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it.
So that's 2 10-minute bouts of Zone of Truth.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think we. Okay. So yeah, you do that, and you check out the stuff, and you get the results that you were looking for.
Okay.
Also, when you wake up, the Luckstone is back in your pocket.
Ooh.
Oh no, it's imprinted.
That is awesome.
Oh.
You're a wizard, Thogrim.
Alrighty. So, who are we interviewing first with Zone of Truth?
Maybe the sea elf? What do you guys think?
Made
I think
famous by
he's-
Adventure Zone.
I don't think I have to worry about what he tells us unless,
But if we learn stuff from, I guess it's Zone of Truth. You're right. So yeah,
like, I'm sure
Probably other
he's
people.
more than like happy to tell us something. I think he just wants to get back home, or I think he said he wanted to be a pirate too. You might be into that, or I'm sorry, privateer.
no, that's a good point. Oh, that's a good point.
Okay.
You softskins occasionally have smart ideas.
What are you talking about? All right, I think Sigma's the most important one we need to do. And if she
Yeah, I mean,
she
there's-
obviously needs to be ungagged to talk, I wonder if I can hold her head in a certain way so she doesn't spit at us while we're talking to her. Maybe.
You could aim her at a wall.
Exactly. And we can ask her questions. I mean, I don't know. I think that might be useful. Because she can't talk while gagged, so we need her to talk for Zone of Truth.
I mean, you can just lay her flat on the floor with her face to the ground and just.
We could have
Put your
Spencer
boot
sit
on
on her.
Alrighty.
Pichu, come here.
Oh god.
So
Nice.
you lay her face down on the floor, with her face in the corner, so she spits poison. It just kind of floods the corner with poison. You have her tied and chained, but you removed the gag from her mouth. Do you also have Shamu kind of gently rest on her to hold her in place? Not hurt her or anything, but just hold her in place. She is
Or if you-
restrained.
Or if you're
Yeah,
worried,
she is restrained. So like she's
Yeah, if I feel that she's
Or if you-
she's not gonna do anything.
if you don't want to
then-
put him,
But
I can hold her.
she's
Like,
she's tricksy. She is tricksy.
All right, we'll put Spencer on.
All right. Now, I usually, as you guys have seen, do all my rolls out in the open. But for something like Zone of Truth, I do have to roll that secretly. Because the whole point of it is that you need to, you cast a spell and does it work or does it not work kind of thing.
I think I know, though, if they succeed or not.
Let's see.
You know whether each creature succeeds or fails.
Okay, fair enough. I'm thinking of the older editions of the game. All right, so yeah, I will roll it openly where you can see. Okay, that keeps it easier for me. All right, do you have her make the save?
I'm gonna cutting words that.
You're gonna cutting words her saving throw. All right, here we go. So it's a 15.
Minus whatever the cutting words.
All right, so what's the cutting words?
It's a 1d6.
Okay.
Better be a good one. My spell saves a 12.
Oh no.
You want me to roll that?
Do you need me to roll it? Yeah, roll it. It's your cutting words.
Yeah.
All right, so that drops to 11.
Nice. Good job.
All right.
Okay. So yeah.
Okay, go for it. Clock's ticking. 10 minutes.
I'm looking for the questions. Where are they?
Okay.
What is the goal of the Scarlet Brotherhood?
She says to prosper.
Okay.
They've got to be more direct. Because that's...
I
technically
see.
truthful.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
What is your brother doing in the swamps? I guess. I don't know. Fuck.
Working.
Wanna help me out? I don't.
Yeah, hold on.
Who's buying all the CL stuff?
That's actually a good question. Who's buying all the CL stuff? Fences in an assortment of towns throughout the Great Sea.
Where are you getting it from?
It's a super vague question. She says, we get our goods from an assortment of people, places, and things.
What
And
is
you
your
can
brother?
almost almost hear the snake-like smile in her voice as she kind of faces the corner.
What is your brother's name?
Vilsar.
We'll pay him a visit soon enough.
Who are your contacts in Saltmarsh?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'll pause the timer real quick as I look that up for you, because I just don't have literally every NPC in Saltmarsh memorized. Hold on a second. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay. Oof. That's an A+ question. Hold on.
AC.
I will put the name because it is pretty important. I'll put it in the chat. She kind of chokes out the words. She says, Scarin Wave Chaser.
Ooh.
Is
Have
the
we met-
leadership?
Have we
Oh,
met
go
this
ahead.
person? No,
No.
just kind of metagaming ever so slightly. Crash. Have we met this person yet?
Not that I no.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Mm-mm. Is anyone else in town corrupt?
She laughed. in
That's not
in
correct.
Saltmarsh, let's go with yes.
How do you meet with Mr. Wave Chaser? How do you get in contact with him?
I don't. That's what she says. And apparently it is the truth. Which is a little confusing if that's her contact, but she doesn't get in contact with him. So more likely there is an intermediary.
Who do you use to get in contact with him?
Samblanet.
Whoops.
You might have an issue with that.
Okay.
What do you? Where did you get Oceanus from, and what are you doing?
Ooh, that is an excellent question. Hold on while I pause it and look up the name of the town for you real quick. Man, so much information. Let's see. All right, she says, I picked him up in Care Westfall.
That's definitely.
And you know that one of the towns that she has papers for the ship. And it is on the island of Snowdown in the Moonshay Isles.
Where's the other guard that you took?
He was sacrificed by cultists. I can't be sure, but that's likely the truth.
What is
The
the
Scarlet Brotherhood cultist?
Excuse me?
The Scarlet Brotherhood cultist?
Yes.
Where did you meet them?
I met them in Kalasham.
Where are you based out of?
I was gonna say, where's the home base? Where's the plans?
We have. I am based out of my ship. Or was.
What port do you call home?
She's very, very, very quiet for a very long time. And then she says, I have a place in the Skagerrak Islands.
Are there more of your kind there?
If you mean beautiful women, I'm not a good judge.
You Yuan Ti.
There are a few.
Cool. Just a few. Cool.
Is that a few in the technical terms, as in 3 or more? Or
She says yes in the technical term, 3 or more.
is there more than 50 of them?
No. If there were more than 50, Saltmarsh would have already burned to the ground.
Who do you answer to? Or within the Brotherhood, not from Saltmarsh. We know that's Scarin. Shit.
I am a free contractor.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Who is the leader of the Scarlet Brotherhood?
She smiles. I don't know. I would assume he's some pasha or pook down in Kalasham.
That makes total sense. Thank you. One question.
There are no
Why are you
stupid
so
questions.
ugly?
Maybe,
Whoa.
maybe,
Axel,
maybe
come
we
on.
could, maybe we could move on to talking to other people. These questions have been going on for a while.
We still got time. Or
You have
we don't know how
2
much
minutes.
time.
You have
Yeah.
you have 2 minutes.
Well, I want to know what she's gonna, who she's gonna be the seal slave to.
Okay. Do you want to ask her?
Yes.
Okay. So you ask her who are you giving the sea elves to?
Yes.
There are some priests of Umberley that were interested in purchasing a sea elf if we happened upon one.
Witch Queen.
Okay. I'm done.
Where is your brother?
He is in the forest and fens of Saltmarsh.
So kind of
Force.
nearby.
And that was pretty generous because she probably could have just told you in Toril.
Yeah, she could have said
but
in
yeah.
a swamp.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Zone of Truth is not a
Yeah,
if it's not the ultimate solution, but
Oh, it's
it
good.
definitely, yeah. You guys are doing pretty good with some of these questions.
Does Prime Water of Saltmarsh work with you?
Mhm.
Mm.
Prime Water wants us dead.
Oh, okay.
Is Prime Water a werewolf?
She laughs. Yeah. And
She doesn't know.
I mean, it sure seems like it.
You've seen the way he looks at you, right? Yeah, it's like.
I just want to look at everyone like, yeah.
I entertain trying to take him to bed, maybe become a half snake, half werewolf myself, but
See, that was my main concern if we turned her in. We'd be fighting a werewolf snake later on.
A werewolf snake.
Yep. That'd
Oh,
be
yeah,
terrifying.
snake.
That'd be horrible.
2 heads. Okay. Any more questions? Come on, we got like maybe one more question.
oh yes, please. I am so eager to answer your questions.
Why does he want you dead?
She kind of chuckles, and she says, the spell tells me that I have to tell you because he is greedy.
Hmm.
Is the old woman
Okay.
Edith in town? Is she corrupt as well?
Ida. She's gonna actually have to make an intelligence check for that one. I don't know who that is.
Does Prime Water have his own operation going on with smuggling?
Oh. Oh my goodness.
Start the race.
Oh.
Yeah.
she just
that's
she
why
starts,
she's a,
yeah, she just starts chuckling and she says, I have no idea.
Mm.
But I might be able to remember if more friendly terms were established. Staring at this corner, being crushed under whatever the hell this thing is. You have to understand, it's been a rough 12 hours for me.
Is that the full 20 minutes, both casts?
Oh well.
No, if you want to use the other cast, you certainly can. I thought you were trying to save it for the crew or the lizard folk, or
I mean,
I think the lizard folk would find it rude that we cast it on them.
okay.
I don't think
so
we
you
should
want to
cast
cast it again?
That's
I mean, we
true.
can cast it again and then usher anyone into it. It doesn't have to be just like her. We can.
Well, no, I
Okay.
think that'll make it easier for Crash. I think we can do
Whatever
the zone
you-
of
whatever
truth
you-
on the crew
I,
later.
Whatever
I
Yeah.
don't. How much more useful stuff do you think we're going to learn from her? Like, it seems like we've probably learned 98% of it.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
I
not
think we
against it, but
probably
let's not
can,
waste
like,
the spell slot.
I mean, yeah, I only have one level 2 spell slot left, so. But if we don't plan on, we're not fighting anything, then it's not really a big deal. We can use
Yeah, I'm saying
for something else.
It's up to you guys. You are setting the pace here. What do you want to do?
Toothless will walk over to the lizard folk.
Okay. They are. You are in the captain's quarters right now. I'm assuming because it's a good place to be isolated from the rest of the crew. There's a corner to stuff her into. The whole deal. Lizard folk are in their own room, which is actually right across from you guys. And I just got kicked out of roll 20. Awesome. It's doing so well tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. So you head across the deck to their door and knock upon it.
Who is it?
They say in Draconic.
It is Athios. This is Toothless's draconic name.
Mm-hmm.
I have just a couple more questions for you.
Of course. We will make time for you, Warbringer.
And they open the door for you.
And by the way, if anyone wants to come down, you're more than welcome. So he wouldn't have tried to sneak down. So I don't know if any of the other party would like to kind of participate. Hearing.
I don't know. I mean, you can ask them if they mind coming up and answering some questions.
They like being down below, though.
I mean, we can go down there, and if we're done with her, we can go down there and zone of truth down there.
Well, it's not so much down below. They just don't like being out on the open deck. Is
Right.
what they don't like. Yeah.
They could fall
So
off,
what I would
yeah.
say is
Yeah, they have a great fear of the ocean. It is just too much water.
I have some friends who would also like to meet you while we talk. Would that be okay? They'll cast a spell to make sure that both you and I tell the truth. It's a very
She
soft...
kind of narrows her eyes,
Right,
like
yeah.
who would ever lie? Is kind of the look she gives you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
and so
very
sorry.
net.
So it's a very soft skin way of thinking. I think it's ridiculous, but
That is fine. We will agree to this magic, but only if they agree to it as well.
yes, we will all agree to it.
We had no intention of deception, so in a way, it is folly for them, for they will not have their soft-skinned deceptions to lean upon.
I have tried, but it will make them feel happier.
Mm.
It's a very soft-skin emotion, this happiness.
As they say, whatever floats their goats. Goats. That would be good right now.
All right. She's willing to meet with y'all in this zone of truth. They fucking fail to save on purpose, baby, because they don't lie. So
That's what I
I
was
want to
gonna
see
say.
I want to see all y'all. Do you guys have the balls and vaginas to fail to save on purpose in the zone
I
of
do.
truth?
I do.
Okay. Anyone else going to step up to the fail the zone of truth plate, or are you going to make you little saving throws?
I also almost spit water all over my computer when that happened.
All right. So you tell me, are you if you're in the room with the spell, which technically all y'all probably had to do it, unless I'm misreading it, and you can affect anyone you want in the room. I thought it was
I
everyone.
think it's
in the room got
everyone
affected.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's anyone that enters it.
Yeah. So I guess she should have been asking you guys some embarrassing questions. Yeah. Like, Axel, how often do you? Yeah. Anyways. Yeah. So.
Twice on Sundays.
Yeah, twice on a Sunday. That's how often I play Saltmarsh. All right. So. So.
Yeah, I'll be in the circle too. I mean,
Okay.
Thorgrim's the one casting it, so.
Do you fail it on purpose?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man, everybody's being honest here. I can't wait. Okay, what's the plan then? I'll set the timer.
All right. Why are the Sagan attacking you?
They are greedy for lands.
And so their goal is for more land.
It seems so.
You...
We have not made any talks with them. We have asked them to leave. We have killed many of their kind. More come. Mutants, many arms, many teeth.
Have you enlisted others in helping you to defeat the Sagan?
She screws up her face like, how could you even ask me that? And she says,
We had considered asking the Rathroxus to assist, but we feared that they would use it as an opportunity to make war against the Softskins of Saltmarsh, and we did not want their battle lust to be too stoked. So we have left them out of talks for now. We did not wish to speak with the humans and other Softskins of Saltmarsh for fear that they would find we were weak and use it to their advantage. They are a scheming people.
After you drive what are the shark people called again? The Shaugwin?
Sahaugen.
Sahaugen?
Yeah.
After you drive the Sahaugen back, what do you plan on doing?
Returning to our peaceful life in the swamps.
So you will not use these newfound weapons against the Softskins. They may be concerned about that.
No, the Softskins of Saltmarsh have lived peacefully with our people for hundreds of years. In fact, we are attacked much less frequently by dragons and monsters because their town attracts what you would call adventurers.
There was a rendezvous that was supposed to happen with this ship to give your people these guns. When should
Yes,
that happen?
the boomsticks. We would take them back to our people, and one of their number was to come with us and train us in their usage. We would then have an advantage against our opponents.
Do you think you'll lose this battle without these weapons?
She looks at you again, like, why would I have fucking rode on this boat for 2 weeks if I didn't think this was important?
That's pretty
Okay.
fair.
Yeah, but she understands that a lot of this is theater, as the Softskins would call it, because they need everything to be dressed up real fancy. So she just sort of like rolls her crocodile eyes and she says,
Toothless gets like a toothless boner, maybe? I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. But anyway,
she is a looker, and albinos are pretty rare. That's like 1 in 500. So yeah. She says,
Listen, tell them in a way that they will understand that I would not have dragged myself and Desiru along with these creatures for 2 weeks, sailing around above the Great Sea, watching their production of goodness and honor and glory, so that I could give them the approval they needed to make this transaction. I would much rather be back in the swamps, training our beasts of war in the old ways. But the princess, she has been swayed into thinking that this is the best course of action. She is the law, the rule that we follow. Her bloodline is the wisest and smartest of all our people. If she feels that this is the only way we can win, then it is the only way we can win.
Well, may the princess be blessed. I'll relay this to the companions, or to the people that I travel with, those on the ship, and we will aim to get you back to your home safely.
I would ask a question then. Ask your allies this. Do they truly intend for us to leave here with our lives, with our guns, and or with our metals?
I think it's safe to say that you will leave here with your lives. There's some...
Oh, no. I know how you feel. But I want to know what they say under these magics of
I'll
truth.
answer that. Like, well, since you've been truthful, you'll definitely leave here with your lives and the guns, and probably with a bit of extra help, if this be the case.
she actually seems pretty mollified by this. She kind of looks to the other guy, Desiru, and he looks at her, and he seems kind of mollified. They both kind of have like, yeah, okay. Like, damn, we're like the best diplomats. Like, that's kind of the attitude they have. It's like, we are like dynamite like diplomats. They are very pleased with themselves. Okay.
So
Anything else?
No, I think we would leave the room.
Okay.
We'll be back with you shortly.
All right.
Before Toothless leaves the room, I want to whisper to him and ask him if Buddy's magical. He doesn't have to answer anyone else but me.
All right. Remember, the truth is what you believe.
I think Buddy is the most magical item that I've ever seen in my entire life.
Good shit.
And then Thogram's just gonna giggle and walk out
All right.
with everyone else.
Just to let's ask Thogrim a question.
Oh.
Do it.
No, he honestly, Thogrim, like, this is not like any like thing bad against you, but he doesn't really care.
Okay. Fair enough.
I mean,
Yeah. I think Toothless would understand that Softskins need lies and secrets to feel safe. It's kind of a part of their nature.
That's so much better said than what I said. So thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they don't have natural, scales and muscles and teeth to protect them, so they need all sorts of other convoluted ways to feel safe. So, alrighty. That is your 2 zones of truth. You got 2 minutes and 40 seconds if you want to stuff some key personnel in there and give them a real quick lightning round Q&A.
Same questions asked.
Okay. Clock's ticking. Do you want to toss anybody in there?
What was the dude with the blue hair?
Fantastic.
The dude with the blue hair is Kip Phantasm Claire. He is a water genasi. Genasi are genie-blooded humans. Probably had like a Nereid or an Undine in his family tree. Eventually bred true, sort of thing. Most of these type of race do come from the Kalasham region. I don't know if you want to have that sway your decision. You also have Walworth Foxy Richmond, who is a Kalashite human. So if you are profiling right now, those would be your 2 very obvious people. But Yuanti are from Chult, and these 2 people are from Chult. So there's also that.
I want to have all of them. If we can have all of them just walking real quick. And then...
Okay. They all kind of grumble and shuffle into the room. This is a different room than you were interviewing the captain in, or is the captain still tied up in the corner?
The captain is elsewhere. This would be...
Oh, she's been brought back down to the cell, basically.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah,
All right, so you bring them back into the captain's quarters. Okay. And Oceanus too? Theodora Slyweb? All them?
No, we don't need him. I was just gonna, all of the pirates.
I
want to ask, like, in a group setting,
sure.
Like, each one of them, if they were okay, if they were willingly going to help with the smuggling of humans or human trafficking, pretty much.
Oof. All right, that's rough. They're definitely gonna make saving throws because they're pirates. Okay. Yeah. So I've paused the timer real quick. They are definitely gonna make some saving throws, or at least try. I think they are so basic bitch that they only roll a d20, but I will double check real quick. Not to hurt their little feelings, but not everybody can be a leveled character. Let's see. You would think with all the pirates I have to keep track of. Yep. All right, here we go. So this is 7 of them. I'm going to start in the top left, and I'll just go, down and left from there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, and this is what's the DC?
12.
12. Okay, so Theodora makes it. Kip makes it. Foxy Richmond makes it. The 2 dwarves fail brilliantly. Let's see. 1, 2.
The Thunder Brothers.
Yeah, I think I'm 1 short. So let me do 1 more. I didn't roll my 7th one for some reason. Oh no, there it did. 2 20s on the
I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So the dwarves are like,
Our slaves? Never! How could you even ask such a thing, dwarf brother?
And they seem affronted. And the other 5, all in unison, are like, slavery? Never!
Well, shit. I was hoping for a little bit better.
The dwarves look at each other and they say, this is fun. You have another one for us.
Are you boys?
Can't we pull them out of the zone and toss them back in to make them reroll?
I believe it's once per casting. If I'm,
But
yeah.
Thalgrim knows they've passed, so we could ask
Yeah,
them.
Yeah,
Thalgrim
he knows
they
that they can be
passed,
lying.
If we're super suspicious of, we can ask them again. Yeah, but that's fine. We can move on.
I mean, honestly, this might be
Yeah.
one of those times where being lied to is for the best, because it's a good chance that, yeah, they were probably okay with selling slaves, especially if it was like a sea elf. That's not even a human being. You know what I mean? Like, as bad as that sounds, it's like,
Yeah.
you have anybody with a decent insight would have a pretty good feeling that these guys would have totally done whatever Sigma told them to do.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Well, I mean, the guys I talked to earlier were only going to do it because she was.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
She's scary.
Yeah. So, like, it would be hard to get, like, an honest assessment of, like,
Yeah.
would you have done this if you had a good captain? Would you have done this if you were just an average Joe or Jane on the street? Like, these guys also aren't very smart. So, like, they're going to have a lot of trouble putting themselves into a situation like that and being like, I don't know how I'd feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't play D&D every Sunday. They're not good at they're not good at role playing.
Amateurs.
Yes. But on the bright side, you know that those 2 dwarves are on the up and up.
I knew you fellas was on the up and up.
They kind of tackle you a little bit, a little dwarf roughhousing going on. So, good stuff. All right. Very interesting. All right. Anything else?
I think they were good. I think that was well spent spell slots.
Yeah, you guys have so much more information about what the hell's going on than my other group. Which is great. You guys have so much to work with. So what do you want to do now?
I think we turn in Sigma, and then we find out what's waiting for us at the town. And if there's nothing immediately to do at the town, we can start bringing the lizard folk back, because I think they want to get back as soon as possible. That's what I
agree.
think saying.
Okay.
I think we should be expeditious, as you humans might say, with getting the lizard folk back. But yes, let's go to town.
Yeah, I would. If nobody else was in the room, then I would talk to the rest of the crew and pretty much tell them.
Yeah, we tell them the plan. What?
No, I meant like
wondering what
telling
we're
everybody
doing.
like how genuine the lizard folk were,
Oh, okay.
and that they seem like they just want to take care of their own home and then be on their way.
Yes, I don't think we have too much to fear from them.
Okay. So you guys start
Get our
heading
reward.
back. Start heading back towards the town. All right. In your inventory, where you guys no doubt have copied over your loots, please make sure that you mark what stuff has been stowed at the sea caves.
Okay, I'll put it all in red or something later on.
All right. So this ship, as you can see from the stats, to operate at full efficiency does require a crew of 20 individuals. You have 7 plus the 6 of you. That brings you to 13. It's going to be, especially with the fog, it is going to be a slow, dangerous process to get the ship to shore. Do you want to wait out the weather? Maybe clean up your sea caves a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
we could.
yeah, or do you want
Yeah.
to try with disadvantage to make it through this thick ass fog along the Sword Coast?
I was gonna ask
No.
Toothless, can't you like tell what the weather is?
Like,
Isn't
the
that a
campaign
thing
is
you
not a
can do?
race, so there's certainly, you have plenty of time to figure this, to figure this stuff out. You're not currently on a timeline.
The
But
ship's
yeah,
already
you can
fucked up. I'd
druid.
rather not.
You can druid craft to find out what the next few days are going to be.
I actually don't know if I have that cantrip.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
think. I was just asking.
Yeah, yeah. So
Because I
can't.
literally have all the weather for the next 2 years. So yeah.
So unfortunately, I can ask Buddy what the weather will be, but we can only trust him so much, I think.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Cut an onion in the morning. Who's sailing
All
the
right.
rest of the day? I don't know.
So we could just, for expediency's sake, you tell me some, what you RP wise, what you would do as you wait for the fog to clear, and then hopefully the weather tomorrow will be a little bit better, and you could make your way to Saltmarsh. But again, for immersion's sake, weather is very important for a seafaring campaign, so we do have to kind of honor that. And today is just an absolute shit day for sailing, so it happens. So if you don't want to take any risks with your damaged ship and your understaffed vessel, my recommendation is to stay anchored in this little harbor, using the fog to cover you, all that jazz, and then you worry about going from there.
Yeah, I think we could, if we're gonna wait a day, I think we could take just the day and kind of maybe RP explore the house more, kind of like make sure all the trapdoor is well hidden, and maybe clear out some of the more pests if there are any. I know we know there's still pests up there.
Is that all right? So that's the decision then. Sounds like. I mean, obviously, if you tried without everyone's consent, you would just smash into the rocks. It would be impossible to Jack Sparrow this thing and like one person sail the ship. Like, it looks really cool in the movies, but in IRL it doesn't always work out so hot. Or I guess not IRL, but gameplay wise. So yeah, let me move you guys over to your haunted house, and you guys can work on that. The reason I ask is because this actually coincides with something that was happening on the campaign calendar.
Festival?
Hmm?
The festival?
Well, the festival's going on, but as you guys are... Yeah, let me move you over to this map. Yeah, you guys are on the map. All right, so you're not Samblane anymore, and you're not a hobgoblin. So there's that. Let's see. Let me grab you guys off of the GM's lair. Hold on. I got you here.
We could also kind of like we can get to know our crew a little bit better, see what their like combat capabilities are. If we need to clear out some more pests.
All right, so you want... Yeah, here's the other question. Do you bring everybody ashore and leave the lizard folk on the ship by themselves, knowing that they absolutely could not sail the ship? Or do you bring everyone ashore? Or do you leave your new crew on the ship while you go ashore and hope that they don't try to escape with the ship? Like, we most
definitely would not leave everyone on the boat.
Yeah, those are deep questions. Those are really deep questions.
Yeah. I mean, so there's a game called Mad Mage, right? Where you just dungeon delving all the time. It's a little bit less decision making and a lot more hack and slash. But for this one, yeah, you do actually have a buttload of important decisions to make. But I will bring everyone ashore except the lizard folk.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
No, I don't think we need to leave anybody on the boat. I'm gonna stay on the boat.
Okay.
And
you're
well, Axel would probably stay on the boat too then, because he hasn't had the long rest yet.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So I guess the more important question is, who is on shore leave, essentially, during this time? Or is anybody?
Toothless would certainly come to shore.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll come. Go.
All right. I will leave everybody's miniatures over here on the map, but we'll just kind of tuck the people off to the side that are back on the ship. So you guys spend time dealing with the ship and all of that jazz, which is pretty cool. And the rest of you are dealing with the hideout and all of that jazz. So while you are here, Toothless, you do hear the sounds of people upstairs in the house.
he quickly relays that in as quiet a manner as possible.
Okay.
Can we see anything? Oh, you said it's foggy,
No.
so we would be able to see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the fog. They can't see you from the shore, and you can't see them. So it was a little tricky. Kind of, they took it slow getting the ship into the little cove there. But they have Illyria. Illyria's really good. With her sharpshooter and everything, right? Do you have sharpshooter yet?
I don't have.
Oh yeah,
no,
yeah.
I have a expert crossbow.
We'll go your elven eyes situation for sure. But yeah, they you guys head in, and yeah, you Toothless, you hear there are people upstairs moving about, searching, looking around. It sounds like they are right above the hatch that leads to the stairs down below.
Feel like
How
it's...
long?
Go ahead.
How long would it take to row back out to the ship to alert them? I'm guessing it's gonna be pretty long.
Who has a lantern?
I do.
Can you relay a message to the ship?
We haven't talked about that yet.
I don't know if it would do.
But
us
we
any
should
good
we
if
should
you
make
guys
our
had
own.
a
I think it's
gallic.
really cool if we make our own signals eventually, but we haven't talked about any of that yet. So.
But
I
we
do
know the
have-
basic signals like danger and it's not safe, all that jazz.
Yeah,
But
so
the fog.
yeah.
Fog might not let it happen, but yeah, okay. I'll do what's
Alright.
I forget what they are.
So, do you want to just stay quiet down below? Toothless, do you inform everyone that this is happening? Like, what's the situation?
I do, and I suggest
Okay.
that perhaps we could inform them in some way, like Illyria suggested.
Now, you're confident that with this fog, no one from the house would be able to see the ship.
Well, we're on our own, guys.
I
Let's have
think
fun.
it's probably another set of guards or another faction has showed up to take a look. That's my guess. That they're checking out. They're sending another patrol of guards, and it's because Ida and Gellin, or Ida sent us out here to do it. So it's not that. It's not those people, unless it's more Saltmarsh guards. That's my guess.
Crash, how long would it take for us to literally take the boat, row out to the big boat, come back with everyone?
Oof. Gosh. Yeah, with the fog and everything, probably to avoid hitting any rocks or whatnot, probably 20 minutes out, 20 minutes back. If you consider time to let everybody know, load them onto the ship or onto the jolly ship, come back, all that.
I mean, that's a long time, but on the other hand, it'd be nice to have all 6 of us.
It's true.
So I don't know what you guys think, who are currently on the shore.
But you have a lot of goods here, is the thing. And you guys are here right now.
Well, those goods were all stowed in the secret room, in the alchemist room.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. So that's, I mean, again, I'm rolling behind the screen dice for guys upstairs that are doing stuff. So,
Well, this part of the house is secret. They didn't find the trapdoor because the other way down to the cellar, there's also a
Toothless,
secret.
you hear in common in Shondathan, you hear, "Oi, hey, it's trapdoor here."
We're in it.
All right, they've apparently found the trapdoor.
Do you want to arrange your miniatures? Do you want to try to clean up this room real quick? I'm assuming this is the room you were cleaning when this happened.
Yeah, we're
which would be
definitely
the
up there.
room with the trapdoor. Let me move you guys over there. Let's see. We've got Haxel and Thogrum back on the boat. So does that mean I have everybody else that I see here? Tari, Skull, Toothless, Adorable Baby Doll, all those peeps. Got it.
Mhm.
All right. Alrighty. So there is a fetid dead body here that's all bloated and rotten with a smashed head. I don't know what you want to do about that. There's dried blood all over the floor. There's blood all over the table where somebody's head was smashed. Bloody footprints that lead from the stool up the stairs. There's a secret door open over here that reveals a room with a completely destroyed, rotted corpse.
I'm gonna close the secret room.
Okay, closes. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm gonna just real quick shout out anything that you may have already done to try to clean up the situation in this room.
I'll get rid of the body and I'll close the store down here.
All
with
right,
the
so
input
you
shop.
toss the body into the sea caves and close the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it. Nice. Nice.
All right. As you are getting that done, and you slide the bookcase and the door back into place, a bunch of the door opens. You guys ready actions? In case they're hostiles.
I will hide if I have a moment.
I will hide as well.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna. Oh, this
Kinda
is all melted, huh?
over-
This is gonna go too. This is all melted.
And I'll take Buddy too. Buddy will hide behind me.
I'll hide behind the
Alright.
staircase.
Oh, Spencer.
I'm guessing
What's
Tyree
that?
would also probably hide.
This is dumb. This is not gonna go well. Maybe
You're
it'll go
fine.
fantastic.
Everything's fine. Fine.
Okay, we should
I
run.
mean, could you
Damn.
All right. So
already an action if they
you see a light coming from the top of the stairs, and you see a Saltmarsh guard
Okay.
kind of peer down. Tari, are you standing right out in the open?
I think
Tyree.
she's unfortunately still being abused by her children.
Oh, okay. So I would say she'd probably be in the party over here that is hiding behind beds. Okay. The guard says, "Oi, it's looking pretty rough down here. Oh, the smell. Smells like the dead. Oh, that's not good. All right. All right. Crossbows out, men. Steady. Here we go." And they start heading down the stairs. And the guy's like, "What the fuck is that?" And they must be indicating the bed
Yeah.
barricade. All right. Wow, an 8 stealth. Oh my goodness. How will they ever know? So the guy kind of turns, and through the slats of the stairs, he sees like the horrifying face of Skull. He lets out a scream and kind of staggers down the stairs. And then he turns, and this guy sees Toothless gonna come out, and he has his crossbow ready. Yeah, guys,
For sure.
misunderstanding for sure, but they are gonna probably open fire.
Absolutely. I would.
Okay. Yeah. So let's take care of that real quick. Let's see. We have guards. Where are these guards at? There we go.
So initiative, right?
Yep. Totally roll some initiative.
Boy.
Alrighty. Let's see. Here we go. First up is a guard. Okay. Yeah, this guard is going to rush down the stairs, and they are going to be screaming, and they're going to be like, "Lizard folk! There's lizard folk down here!" And this guy is going to say a prayer to Lathander, the Morning Lord, the bro Jesus of humans everywhere in Forgotten Realms. He's going to leap off the stairs, and as he lands, he's going to see Skull there in the shadows, and he's going to let out a yelp of fear because you're way scarier.
Oh, yeah.
Than a normal lizard folk for sure. And he is going to fire his crossbow at you, which means that he currently does not have his shield equipped. If you are sizing them up for killing, which whatever you have to do, I guess. Let's see, and that is, I mean, they're human guards, so it's nothing to write home about. But here we go. He takes the shot.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, the crossbow bolt kind of sticks into the supports for the stairs, just kind of into the stairs. And then he kind of backpedals away from you, and he's like, "Oh, there's something on the floor here. Oh, there's so much blood." And they're in a full panic here. Another one comes hustling down the stairs. Kind of pushes past his buddy. He's going to take a shot at you, Toothless. Here we go. 12 for 4, so the shot kind of goes wide, tings off the stone wall behind you. Another one, this guy who's here, he whirls around to you, Skull, and he's going to take a shot. All right, it's terrible. Yeah, his hands are shaking real bad. He fires, and the arrow just kind of sticks into the staircase. All right, Skull, you're up. What are you going to do?
Okay. I think I will step out with no weapons.
Okay.
And I will say, okay, so real quick, do they have the Saltmarsh traditionalist kind of logos?
They are
emblems?
Saltmarsh guards. So
Okay.
yeah, everybody in town does wear like the guards do wear the motif of the two fish and all that jazz, but mostly it's kind of just for show because as you have heard from Ida, most of the guards are deep in the pockets of Daggerford and the and all that, but Daggerford would never be as forward as to rebrand the city guard with their shit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
So I will step out. No weapons, but I don't have my hands up, and I'll say,
Okay.
Hold your fire, man. We're here on a mission from Ida, Owland, and Gellin Primewater. We were sent here to stake out the smuggler's den that they had thought was here. We are just now returning from said mission, and how do I explain that we were hiding, but not we were hiding from possible intruders?
All right. While you're
I'll just say
explaining,
6 minutes.
yeah.
6
While you're
seconds.
explaining, Spencer kind of nudges and noses Illyria and kind of quietly. He seems like a little nervous and confused about the situation.
No.
I'm just gonna scratch his head. Just stay here, buddy. Don't move. It's okay.
Okay.
I don't want him going out there.
All right. Another guard comes down and he just says, "What's going on here? What's going on here? What do we got here, Captain? You're gonna need to see this." And he kind of steps up to the top of the. Well, he'll just kind of keep you covered. I know disadvantage in melee kind of thing, but he'll kind of keep you covered with his crossbow, and sort of hop down next to you. Item interact. He will sort of draw the sword. And sort of offhand his crossbow. So he doesn't have his shield out, but he switched to a sword.
Okay.
All right, Toothless, what are you gonna do?
I've lived in Saltmarsh for a long period of time. We were just working to help Ida. Sorry you found us down here, but we mean you no harm. So why don't we end this and go talk to the Saltmarsh Council?
Persuasion.
All right, so 2 of you are talking, and that's pretty good. These guys are going to need you to talk to their leader, though.
Okay.
So while you might be able to sway them, the check would not be as meaningful as if you used it on their leader, who is listening in on all the goings on that is happening. All right, so leader comes down the stairs. He's got cooler art than that. I just don't have a miniature for him. He is this guy. Isn't that way cooler? Look at that bald head.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's
Right?
awesome.
That's
Yeah.
way cooler. All right.
I'm sorry.
So that guy comes down eventually because he got really bad initiative. This guy is going to ready in action. Buddy is going to ready in action because he doesn't like where this is going.
I agree.
Yeah. Let's see. You can't see his baldness or his beard because of his terrible coif. I don't
Yeah.
know. Whatever. Yeah. So the guy comes down and he says he's going to roll an intelligence check to see if he recognizes Skull or Toothless. He does not. As he comes down, he seems very cautious. He sees that you have your hands up, but that you're also strapped with weapons. Almost to sort of test you, he walks past you, expecting you to do something.
No, yeah.
All right. So then he moves into the center of the room, where he can see both of you, and then he says, "Just the two of you, then."
No, the rest of our... God, how do I explain the whole thing that just happened the last hour? Or last day. Our
You gotta
companion-
understand how it looks for me.
Oh, yeah.
Let's find two lizard folk and an obvious crime scene. There's murder afoot. There's blood everywhere.
Yes, we found it, and we've helped to deal with these individuals. Just ask Ada; she'll vouch for us.
You keep bringing up the councilwoman's name, but I find it awfully peculiar that you do, especially given that we were sent here by Captain Eleander. And he made no mention of no Ida Owland or any mercenaries she might be hiring.
We're not mercenaries. We're helpers for the city.
Oh, you big helpers then. You big helpers.
We are big helpers. If you want to see how if we can be bigger helpers, let us know.
He looks at you confused by your honesty and literalness, and he kind of shakes his head like to shake off the confusion of what you're saying. And he just says, "Look, we received orders this morning from Eleander. Come check this place out. Apparently, he had gotten what you would say a hot tip, letting him know that there was some shady business going on here. We had some guards go missing. They haven't been showing up for work, and our informants let us know that we might want to check out this house. So you can imagine our surprise when we get here. We find all manner of dead and scavenged things about, and then the house itself just in complete disrepair, signs of passage everywhere. Then we find a secret trapdoor, and what do we find below? Two lizard folk skulking around in the shadows. And then you tell us, in very good common, I might add, that you're big helpers for old Grandma Owland."
I can understand your concern. I think if we all just settle down for a little bit and maybe...
Oh, should we sit at this table that's covered in blood?
I would have suggested a different one in town that had ale, and we could probably talk about this.
You know what? That's a good idea, then. Yeah, if you're willing to come along quietly, then that's fine. We don't have to make a bloody mess of this on top of whatever bloody mess you might have caused. Let's head on back to town, and we'll hash this out.
I feel like I would have. I was waiting for my turn.
Oh, sure. Sorry.
So,
Yeah,
but,
I was assuming you guys were hiding because you were stealth behind these things, and these two are bigger than life. They're definitely pulling all the attention to them. So
Yeah.
you and Tari and Spencer could stay hidden if you wanted to.
Do I recognize any of the guards, having lived in Saltmarsh for a while?
Yeah. You know what? Give me an intelligence check with advantage to see if you could kind of detect who is speaking right now. So you just hit your intelligence score, and we'll just take the best of the two rolls.
Okay.
Yeah, that is Gru Farobringer. He is a watch captain. He is not the captain of the guard, but he is, he's he's kind of a big deal. You know.
Mr. Fallringer?
All right. He turns and he sees you.
Hello.
And he seems really confused to see you here. And
Hi.
he says, lady, and he rolls. Oh yeah. Illyria?
Yes.
What
Uh,
what are you doing here? Why are you with
well-
these did these lizard folk kidnap you?
No. I'm with them. What they're saying is true.
He seems flabbergasted. Look at that flabbergasted man. Yeah. He does
This
not
is-
know what the rock is cooking. He is very confused.
Yes, I believe this is all just a big misunderstanding, and there's really
Okay.
nothing to worry about.
I'm gonna need you to fill me in, and I'm gonna need you to fill me in real quick. What the hell are you doing here? And what the hell are you doing with these lizards? And what the hell's going on with this house? We had 3 guards go missing. They haven't shown up for work. We've come looking
Yes.
for them.
We actually came looking for them as well. That's why we were here. We returned.
So Owlin knew that our people were missing before we did. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't want to speak for somebody else's knowledge, but we did come here looking for guards and potential cultists.
Cultists?
Stuff.
No.
Hey,
The men begin to murmur amongst themselves. They are confused.
I thought this was
as hell.
already like known as a spooky place.
Yeah, oh, it's a spooky place
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, the men are all, whispering among themselves, like, oh, I told you. Oh, yeah, cultists. Oh, yeah. It's either bandits or cultists. That's what it always is. All right. The guy lets out a long sigh and he says, I need to understand what happened here. What's with this blood? Was it just the 3 of you? Where's that dwarf you're always hanging out with? He didn't come, did he? He's too old and fat to adventure, right?
Oh, you.
I mean, he's the one with the beard, right? That wears the apron?
Yes.
Okay.
My ears are burning.
Yeah.
On the boat. Like I'm like rubbing them. Like
You have to understand, Lady Illyria, there's questions. There's a lot of questions that I have here. Are you willing to come back to town and speak with Captain Eleander and explain to him what happened here?
If that's what my compatriots want to do, of course.
And this guy speaks up and he says, Hey, I know that lizard man. That's the one they call Toothy. He's always around town doing stuff. He's like what do they call him? Anomaly, like he's a weirdo. And they kind of look at him like, those are some big words, son. And they look over at Toothy, and then it kind of dawns on them. Oh yeah, I've seen that guy. Oh yeah. And then he puts a finger at this guy. What about this one over here? Huh? What's going on with this one? Why does this one got horns and this one doesn't? Explain yourself, horned lizard man.
Okay.
Why you got horns and that one doesn't?
Gosh. I suppose my heritage speaks for itself.
In that you're a horned lizard? I don't feel like I asked a tough question.
I think
Dragonborn?
he.
All right,
he-
that's it. I don't want this to get violent, but you're gonna need to get over here, and we're gonna need to head back to town. Like I can't do this. I can't stay here in this house anymore. It's giving me the creeps. And you apparently took care of. You could feel the air quotes when he says it. Whatever was going on here, and I'd love for you to explain that back in town.
I think Toothless would quickly look around to the team, and
Okay.
like, do we actually want to go back with these guys, or do we want to kind of get back to our ship? I think probably going back to town is like the safest alternative, but
It's
they're
too
not
late
super
now.
friendly.
Discretion's out the window. They're all gonna
Yeah.
know. The whole town's
Okay.
gonna know. The Daggerford's gonna know. It was unlucky that happened. But yeah, the Skull will not put up a fight. Yeah, he'll go quietly for questioning.
Okay. Now keep in mind, reality and history are the truths that you tell. So, like this could be an opportunity. It doesn't have to be the end of everything. So just gonna keep that in mind. That being said, yeah, if you guys are willing to be rounded up, it's a 3-hour walk back to town, unless Illyria offers her ranger skills
I was
to
gonna say,
get them
yeah.
back sooner.
What's that over there?
Yeah. So you reverse your ranger skills. It takes 6 hours to get back to town. Oh, okay. I guess Tari, or a party representing Tari in a court of law, and Spencer, would they stay hidden or would they come with?
I think Therese should stay hidden so she can tell the others what happened.
Okay, that's smart.
Spencer probably want to come with Illyria.
Okay.
My gut.
Yeah.
All right. He comes bounding over. They all kind of scream in terror and confusion.
Come on, he's super cute.
What is that? Some kind of dinosaur?
What? Have you never seen a whale before? I mean,
I've seen a whale out in the ocean.
okay.
A
alright,
dinosaur's like a whale on land. They come from Schultz. I know about these things.
Okay, well then you're very educated.
Yeah, they got all kinds of crazy animals at the festival. The festival that I am missing, taking my daughter to, because I'm here investigating this nonsense.
All right. So they will take you guys back to town. Split party. All right. Because the party's split, but because I want everybody to have some action here, if you guys are okay with it, the people back on the ship can totally offer metagame advice to the people that are being grilled back in town.
I would say you should definitely bring up the fact that we talked to the other guard's wife already and delivered the ring, and so that way, they can ask her and
I think
she'll
these
vouch for us.
Wasn't she scared of the guards?
total meta. I think these are crooked guards. That's why.
I actually think.
And
the
I
exact
think
opposite.
these are the
They're not
exact people discretion was supposed to be valuable about, or whatever Nita told us discretion was at the utmost.
Oh, they were sent by Oleander. They were sent by Oleander.
He's the captain of the
He's-
guard.
Yeah, he's the captain of the guards. Yeah.
So maybe I don't know. I could see it go either way. That they're crooked and maybe she's not, and that's why she doesn't want them to know. But yeah, that's.
All I'm thinking is I could probably pay myself. They could probably bribe them. Maybe.
All right. Do you want to try to establish that party rogue on the way back to town?
Establish.
If they are on the take, as it were, do you throw some thieves' cant at them? And
Oh yeah.
yeah, like I once knew a girl from Luskin who
Yeah.
could eat 12 pickles in in 15 minutes, kind of thing. And they're just like, oh,
How old
I
is
know
your-
this. I know of this lady. Yeah,
You boys like to smile?
yeah, exactly. Okay, so
Yeah.
you try to slip that out there a little bit, or
Yeah. I will
Okay.
say in thieves can't. Oh gosh.
just say random shit and then tell me what it means.
Yeah,
like,
that's,
how
I'm
thieves'
thinking
cant-
of
yeah, that's how
what's the
thieves' cants
message.
works.
Yeah, it takes like 10 times longer to convey a message
Yeah.
or something.
Right. But yeah, just, like say, I start talking to the guards about this. And then like, obviously if any of them is a thief, they would know that is the signal to kind of give me a heads up or not.
Yeah, I
basically.
guess the first thing I'll do is I'll try and make contact with one of I'll see if they know thieves can't first off.
Okay. So a good opener, especially given the weather, would be to talk about the weather.
Yeah.
So you start talking about the weather, and everyone else who's with you is kind of like, that's a weird thing to talk about. when we're walking 90 minutes back to town to be interrogated. And the guards all kind of murmur, just like, yeah, it's fog. That's exactly what it is. It is fog. It's weather.
The canary flies at midnight.
You got it. You got it. I don't.
I don't know.
Good for you. One of the guards, though, says to you, he says, you done goofed big time, in Thieves' Cant. So basically he says, oh, when the fog is like this, all I can think about is my grandma's pea soup.
How bad
Thicker,
you fucked up.
thicker than cheese it was, and twice as green as an orc's ass. And he just kind of is making this inane conversation with you about soup and grandmas and cheese. Do you want this above the table or below the table, what this guy tells you? Do you want to jump into secret chat real quick?
Yeah, let's do that. We can go. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
On
Yeah, and anytime I have halfling Gouda cheese, I'm just transported back to Mima's cabin in Neverwinter Woods.
I hope your son Greg is doing well.
He
And
is.
he passes
he is.
his classes.
Yep, the new glasses, the new dang-fangled glasses. It turned out he couldn't see the board. That's all it was. So,
Right.
all right. So yeah, they have a pretty inane conversation that is so boring that it would take like actual like skill checks to listen in because it's so boring. All right, you guys arrive back at town. You are taken to the guard tower, which I believe is location, I want to say 2 or 12, but let's check real quick. Here we go. Are you location 2 or are you location 12? The world may never know. Saltmarsh, location 2 is the barracks and jail. Ooh, that would be a little too much. Yeah, so they will take you to Whole Watch Tower, which is pretty cool looking. Here we go. All right, so they take you to this tower. There's a sign out front where they have jobs posted, which is kind of cool. You do see off in the distance the festival is being has been set up. It's pretty crappy weather for a festival, but hey, there it is. I believe it's the second day of the festival, and a lot of people are kind of coming and going. You are led into the tower, and then you run into this cat right here, Eleander, who is basically still on duty. He appears as thus, so kind of an old nerd, I guess.
Sorry, real quick. So
Yeah.
during the trip, I definitely want to say in Draconic to Toothless to keep his mouth shut.
Oh, you explain that the Softskin's custom of lying would be very important in this juncture. Is that?
Yes.
Or maybe just silence is golden. One of those two.
Yeah, one of those two. Politely as possible, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, continue.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, so this guy Eleander is there. You guys are sat down in a very medieval interrogation room that still looks like it could be on the set of like any cop drama on normal television. There's no one-way glass though. That would be hype. Yeah, it's too expensive. Like Fantasyland shit gets broken all the time. Yeah, so they sit you down, and Eleander sits across the table from the three of you. And Spencer. And Eleander is a Eluskan human in his old age. He looks to be about 50-ish, maybe. He has a lot of confidence about him. He wears looks like a chain shirt of elven make underneath like more casual like clothing. You can kind of see the elven chain kind of peeking out. He has a resplendent looking rapier at his side. He definitely looks like a guy who is well equipped and well experienced. And as he kind of eyes everybody in the room, he then turns to you, Illyria, and he says, Lady Illyria, it's good to see you again.
Hello.
And Toothless, correct?
Aye.
And you, he narrows his eyes. I've seen you around town. And the way he says it, it's not endearing. They call you Skull because, and he motions at his face of this situation.
To my
not so
face or
much
his
here,
face? Yeah.
Well, he motions to his face, but it's indicating like you're called Skull because your
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
Something about it. Just wanna
You
punch it.
you have a reputation, Skull, around town.
Just an upstanding citizen doing his job for his community.
Right. Okay. So guard captain has told me that they went to investigate the house that crawls. A very spooky name, to be sure. Because we had some guards go missing many days ago, it seems. The 3 of them were on leave and they never came back from leave. So you could understand my concern when my valued employees don't show up for work day after day. I went by the home of one of them to visit her wife, and nobody was there this morning. Neighbors said she left town. That's weird, right? I'm going to need everybody to roll deception checks for me.
Okay.
Okay. Toothless and Skull, like 2 lizard dogs playing poker. Illyria, you like the Keen and Peele gif. Like there's some sweat kind of coming down.
Would I really know? I wasn't in the house during that conversation.
I got you.
So I don't really know what happened.
This is very much just, like you see a cop on the side of the road and you're like, I hope the cop doesn't find the dead hooker in my car. Wait, I don't have a dead hooker in my car. Why am I freaking out? Like, yeah. So Eleander kind of turns and looks at you, Illyria, and says, is there something wrong, Lady Illyria?
No.
Oh, all right.
Sorry. Just a little bit tired.
So the guard captain informs me that Lady Owlin hired you to investigate the house that crawls. Would you like to tell me why that happened?
Well, unfortunately, it appears the guards that were on leave decided to take up a contract with her before us. And unfortunately for them, the house was in fact being used for heinous cultist rituals. And that they had made their unfortunate end. So your information is the same as ours. They did not come back within the time they were supposed to. And she then asked us to go investigate what happened to them. We found the cultists. We avenged the guards' deaths, and I'll do that. I don't know. It's just me and him. There's no other guards in the room. Just
there are two guards by the door. The one
Yeah.
that you talked about, soup and glasses for kids with, and the guard captain that he keeps referring to.
Okay, so yeah, I want to say that basically I wanted say that we avenged their deaths, and I want to try and appeal to the other guards in the room. See if I can get them kind of on my side with that. I don't know if that...
All right. Yeah, so the guard captain says...
let them be sympathetic to it.
Yeah, the guard captain says, we didn't see any sign of any of our people, but there was signs of a lot of blood, a lot of conflict. The house was a disaster. All sorts of scavenged remains, lots of creepy crawlers, things like that. We got jumped by some weasels out front. Had to put them down.
Oh,
no.
what? You just
Horrible.
needed to give them rations. What?
He looks admonished, and he's like, "Well, I heard they drained your blood, so I just, we were just acted in the moment. I'm terribly sorry."
I mean, they're pretty big weasels, to be fair.
And then the Grandma Soup says, I'm inclined to believe him. It's a creepy place. Guard captain and I both had the hinky dice when we were down in that basement, and we maybe didn't stick around as long as we should have, but things got pretty crazy pretty quick, and these three seem more than capable. I mean, they gotta excuse my elven, Captain Eleander, but they got a fucking dinosaur, sir. So I feel like, if they said that there was trouble down there, that they got it. Oh, sir.
What do you mean by hinky dies? You humans are perplexing.
Oh, it is a colloquialism in Saltmarsh. It just means like the heebie-jeebies. It means you got a bad feeling about something. Get the hinky dies.
I will have to think about that.
Yeah. So the captain, with his golden eyes and his cool old man look, like, man, I retired from adventuring at my peak. I'm so cool. He kind of gives the guards like a cool stare, and he kind of turns back and looks at all of you, and he says, "What evidence do you have that they were cultists?"
Skull will pull out the... this is so bad. I shouldn't be doing this. He'll pull out the cloth with the symbol that he tore off from San Blane's. There was a flag that I tore off the symbol for it.
Oh, yeah,
I'll
yeah,
put
yeah.
that on the table.
Oh, all right. He looks at that, and his eyes widen.
Does it look like he's seen it before? Like,
Yeah. It looks like he's seen it before. And he looks concerned and upset. Do you know who this is? He shakes the cloth at you.
No.
These are the Scarlet Brotherhood. They serve a demon known only as the Merilith. She has no known name.
Merilith. Go ahead.
This faction operates out of Kalisham to the south. You're saying that you found this in the House That Crawls. Then you've done a great service to this town in destroying such a dangerous cell operating on our shores.
I don't think
He smiles. He smiles real big and looks kind of relieved. And he reaches out to grasp your forearm with his forearm skull. Do you take the pro-offered forearm to forearm?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And he smiles real big, and he kind of pulls you in, forehead to forehead, and he smiles and he says, to adventure. Those were the days. Thank you for this. Chances are good that's the fate. Something wrong there.
Yeah. How do you know? How do you know they're destroyed?
We took care of them, Toothless.
You told me you took care of them. Is that not what we're talking about?
No, I think that's most of it, but we should always be vigilant.
Okay, he chuckles and he says, right, your people are very literal. No, I don't think that you have destroyed all of the Scarlet Brotherhood. Like, you would have had to travel all the way to Kalisham and probably other parts of Tyril to do that. But I mean the ones that were operating out of this house, right?
Aye.
Okay. I'm glad. I'm sorry. I'm still trying to understand more about your people. I am a poor neighbor for not dedicating more time to. I have learned your language in my many years of adventuring,
No.
but and he says in Draconic, mostly for the spell books. I'll be honest, but still, it's your culture itself that remains quite mysterious to me. You are unlike dragons and dragonborn.
That seems incredibly reasonable. Said in Draconic.
Okay. Well, do you know the fate? He says back in Chandothan / Common. Do you know the fate of the 3 guards that were working for Ida?
I'll ask.
P Soup says, they I'm just again sorry to speak out of turn, Captain Eleander, but with all that blood that was around, I could only assume human sacrifice. All right, he turns back to you. Well, Skull, you found this tabard. Do they have some sort of altar? Is that what was going on here?
Yes. Well, yes. He agrees.
All right. Was the altar destroyed?
Yes.
All right,
and,
then.
well, basically, what I wanted to ask before that was he'll ask if the Eleander himself has ever ventured far from Saltmarsh into the swamps and fens.
Oh. I'll be honest. I traveled much of Tyril in my youth. I retired to Saltmarsh. Gosh, maybe what? Has it been 10 years now? Because I like the sea, and I wanted to be away from the bigger cities. You know.
And basically, following that, he'll ask if he's heard of rot grubs. If he's familiar.
Oh, yeah, his face blanches in disgust. He says, "Oh, just the worst." Oh, they were using rock grubs to dispose of the bodies. Classic. None of your number were hurt, were they?
No,
No one died, did they?
Mm-mm.
Oh, wow. All right. I have a lot to discuss with Ida. I appreciate what she's trying to do, but she needs to leave guard stuff, for lack of a better word, to the guards. She has a town to run. She has politics to manage. She has a business to run. She has citizens to care for. I am here to help. We are here to help. She does not need to keep trying to do everything on her own. This is and I don't mean to talk about this in front of you guys, but this is the exact reason why we need to consider allying with Daggerford.
That was my next thing. I wanted to insight him and see if he was even more happy about when I presented him the.
Yeah. You guys could all roll an insight if you'd like.
Damn. So.
Very insightful.
Yeah.
Marvelous.
He is making no secret of how pleased he is that he has old lady Ida Owlin by the short hairs now. Yeah, he is very excited about this. Tell you what, you basically performed citizen's arrest here. We're gonna pay you. That's what we're gonna do. You wait right here. I will get your reward. And I'll make sure everyone in town knows that you're heroes.
No.
And he pushes himself away from the table and he gets up to leave the room.
I'm sorry, guys. Fucked up.
P-Soup looks over at you, Skull, and he says, yeah, this reminds me of the time my uncle's llama got lice. You wouldn't think that lice would be hard to take care of on a llama, but we had to shear the whole thing. It was the damnedest thing. All right. And the guard captain looks at him and says, "You talk about the dumbest shit. Just the dumbest shit. Do you know that?"
What did he actually say to me though?
He said that probably went better than it could have.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Eleander comes back and he has a small sack. The sack contains 15 platinum pieces, 150, which is 150 gold. And he says, "Here you go, 50 gold each for your efforts. Thank you for everything you've done. I have reason to believe that if there's one splinter cell of the Scarlet Brotherhood, there could be more. I'm willing to pay you for any additional information you can find about the Scarlet Brotherhood. Please, please bring me that information when you have it. We need to do everything we can to ferret out this corruption in our city." All right. Well, there's much to do. Festival, bad weather, all sorts of things. So you're free to go. And he leaves the room. Okay. Back at the ship,
that's a perfect.
Yeah, Tari returns to the ship.
Use the restroom. Excuse me.
Yeah, and it is just her and a couple of crew that were down in the sea caves when the guards arrived. And to their credit, they did not murder Tari and run away. So that's worth.
Awkward.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that's worth mentioning. Yeah. So I would say probably 3 of them came to shore. So, Therese, she's a bad bitch, but I'm pretty sure action economy wise, it would have been a tough fight if the 3 of them got the drop on her. They did not. She explains what happened, and they're just like, F for respect kind of thing. They're just like, well, if they've been taken by the guards, I guess we should go back and tell Captain Haxel that Saltmarsh is off the menu. We just gotta head to some other port, start a new campaign without him. And she says, "I'll warm them up with these." And she shakes her huge knockers. This is your lookout, Sly, talking. So they row the jolly boat back out, and when they arrive, you are a little confused why there is just the 4 of them and why Tari would feel like it was a good idea to be alone with 3 of the unknown crew quantity. Now, I might say that you guys probably would have sent the lookout and the 2 dwarves, especially if you're doing repairs to the sea caves, because the dwarves are the most handy of all your crew. So I could see that being a little more trustworthy, because they do definitely, of all your crew, definitely seem like the most trustworthy. So you had the Thunder Bros and Tits McGee and Tari. They both arrived back at the ship via the jolly boat. They explain to you what happens. So we were there and we were cleaning, and then Toothless heard a sound up above, and there were guards. I hid. This is Tari explaining it to you, since I don't think she's with us still. Is she still being murdered by
Correct.
children? Okay.
Yeah.
And she just says, "Yeah." So I hid and I listened, and they agreed to go with the guards, and that was that. And I came back as soon as I could. The dwarves and Sly, they were extremely cooperative. So what do we do?
Well, I guess we should wait for them to come back, and so they can come back, because we need help moving this boat.
Okay. All right. So, do you guys have anything you want to do with the ship, or should we go back to the town with them exiting Hool Tower and deciding, maybe with a slight bit of meta pigeon cuckooing as they fly by, that you guys need them to head back to the house that crawls?
Does Harry mention the Oleander? Oleander?
Yes. She does drop as much information as you guys overheard them discussing. She was sure to remember all of it and spit it back at you guys. Because she's a bard, and bards can do that kind of stuff.
I'll point out that Oleander was a Daggerford, and Ada did not like him at all. So
Okay.
they're in the clutches of the alternate faction.
Okay. Thogrum, you got anything to add to that?
No, not really. I mean,
Okay. So you guys are just gonna hang tight, wait for them to return?
yeah, and hope they
I'd
return.
like to. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I hope they return because I mean, that's what 3 people were missing. I mean, how much does that deteriorate?
Yeah, I
our
mean
building
that. Yeah, I
abilities?
mean, again, you're hoping for good weather and good wind, and then you're just gonna like take it super easy the rest of the way to town. Is you really because again, your ship goes, I believe, like 4 miles an hour. So even if you were going at like half speed because you don't have a full crew, and you're taking it slow, you could still get there in like 2 hours and change. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So you could get there without them, assuming the weather was better.
Axel wants to make sure you get to his long rest, though.
Yeah, remember you need a full crew to handle the actual dangers of the sea. So like avoiding, monsters and other ships and whirlpools and bad weather and all that. If it's good weather and it's clear and you guys are taking your sweet time with it, like you can putter along safely. If you were to be attacked on the way there by another ship or monsters or things like that, that would be problematic. But you are again pretty close to town. So,
Yeah, I mean, I would suggest that we wait and see if they come back to the house eventually, since.
alrighty. Back to Saltmarsh party. Do you guys get out? Let's see. It was noon. About 1 o'clock. Let's see. Noon. You did the interviews. Then you went back and cleaned. Probably about 3, 4. So let's say it's about 5:30 in the afternoon for you guys. What are you gonna do?
It's so foggy. Wait, we were back at the house?
You guys just exited Hool Tower, which
Okay.
is location 12. Yeah, do you want to go back to the house? With Illyria, it's only 90 minutes to get back there. So you could get back there before sunset.
I don't know. You guys want to check out the festival? No, let's go back to the house.
Yeah, let's
It's
still get
right there.
some cotton candy,
Yeah,
some
yeah.
corn on a stick.
No, for this session, I definitely want to get back so we can get back and be at the town.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. We should do that.
Okay, so so you're gonna head back to get them, knowing Toothless fisherman background, knows about boats, that kind of thing. You know that they are badly undercrewed, so they are gonna need they're gonna need as many people as they can. Illyria, you're a ranger. You know that you can take a path that is a little bit more meandering, so it doesn't look like you guys immediately left Hool Tower and then beelined it back to the scene of the crime.
Okay.
Okay, so you add another like 30 minutes to the trip, cut through some farmland and some streams and things like that to kind of really mix it up, and then you come at the house from a slightly different direction. Cuz Ranger. So you guys get back there, you head down. The fog is still kind of hanging there. The wind is picking up finally, and it is blowing some of the fog away. You guys could attempt a night voyage to get back. Anybody who has survival can make a check to see if they know what the weather's gonna be like tomorrow.
I'll do that.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh no.
All right.
Oh,
We're both a little distraught about what happened.
Okay. Yeah. So
Thogram's a shipwright.
you're pretty sure all the fog is gonna rise up into a very overcast day. And that overcast is going to have some rain. So really the best day for the festival was yesterday when there was perfect clear weather. That was the last day of the festival is just going to be a trash can. So there's going to be a lot of rain and a moderate breeze, very overcast skies. That being said, it's not the worst weather to try to go in. Strong rainfall. It's not as bad as the heavy fog. Your best bet will probably be to go in the middle of the night, in between the fog ending and the rain starting. That is what I would just assume that the two of you work together, and we take the 16 from Toothless. So yeah, like that's your best bet, is to go tonight between weather patterns. The wind is going to shift from southeast to western too, so that'll actually help you guys a little bit, because you've got to head north, and west would actually take you further out to sea, which would give you clearer sailing where there wouldn't be as many rocks. So you relay this information and everything else to the ship, who has been watching the sea caves for any sign of you guys. How would you have signaled through the fog that you guys are back at the sea caves? Or would you have sent a number of people back to wait and see if anybody returned to the house?
Yeah, we would send the jelly boat back, and then have a couple like people standing by just to.
So they they reunite. They get back on the ship. Everybody's back on the ship. Do you guys dish to the crew everything that went down in town?
Toothless would, I think.
Yeah, Toothless
Group,
has
right?
been wanting to tell the truth for hours now. just pour it out.
I'll say to Toothless as well, interconic. On the way back, I'll say, I appreciate it. I appreciate what he did. I knew it must have been hard.
All right.
It was.
Brother.
I'm happy to help
brother.
where I can.
Yeah.
All right.
Interconic.
So Thogrim and Haxel, they fill you in on what happened with Eleander.
Well, if that doesn't just.
Well, wait. Roguish privateers here. Do you guys mention the 150 gold? Or does everybody just have 5 gold in their back pocket, or 5 platinum in their back pocket, and they don't mention that part of the story?
I mean, I wouldn't lie to
Okay,
Thogrim.
yeah. All right, so you guys throw out the reward and everything. Cool. All right,
Yeah,
sorry to
we'll
interrupt.
split
Keep
it
going.
Well, I'll say I got 50. So
Oh, sure.
the other two can do as they wish.
Fair enough. So
Yeah.
equipped with this information, Haxel and Thogrim, what are your responses? What are you going to do here? What's the play?
Well, do we go into town and own up to all of this and see what happens, or do we pick a new home?
I'm good at picking a new home.
You're gonna leave everything you had, Thogrim, behind?
I love my home.
No, I think we go back. We go back to town, get our money from them, and then we can leave.
Yeah, maybe we go.
No,
talk to
it's
Nita and...
Oh, the contract's probably in void now. They probably won't honor it, or they might. I don't know.
see what happened.
and it's
Was.
pretty-
Discretion is
Pretty
discretion
strange
is
won't-
done.
a giant boat.
It's. I mean, technically, it's her fault. She put us in this situation by not keeping the other guards, out of it.
Well, she doesn't.
Yeah, we
control
can't really
guards.
control that.
Yeah, we're back to a
It was
corner. We had to let it
Randy's
get.
that
I still
brought
think. I
the-
still want to turn her in. I still want to get back to town, and then we can take the lizard folk back.
We definitely. She is kind of dangerous. We definitely do need to get her out of our hands. Like, regardless of what somebody does with her, like
Agreed.
holding on to her is just gonna.
Well, let's take her back.
Okay.
And
Is this a? Okay.
is
I
this
mean,
mutiny? What
is
do you, what
everybody-
are you thinking?
I'm thinking that you just told this guy that you took out a bunch of cultists and now are about to roll in town with a giant ship.
Well, we were told to come back with the ship anyways. They would give us papers to make it legally ours, so...
I mean, we still have the person
Okay.
who runs town. Like, given this, like this guy's just a guard with connections. So
Yeah, hopefully politics-wise, he can keep us safe. We could even say that we could just secretly give Sigma to him, and then he can take care of it. Doesn't have to be us bringing them in. The town already knows about us, or us three at least.
We need to figure out who we want to play to. Do we want to play to Ida and what's his nuts, or do we want to play to the guard captain?
That is extremely smart what you were saying, because again, you guys don't have to leave town, but if you have allies, you know what I'm saying. If you continue to try to take multiple dates to the prom, it's going to be more of this juggling and more of this craziness. But if you pick a side, things might be easier, I guess you could say, because at least you'll know
I feel like you just picked a side.
who you can trust, kind of thing.
I don't think we have. I mean, we could get back
What,
and then.
what choice did I really have?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, you guys.
No,
have
it's fine. That's fine. But I'm just.
That's why I said I'm sorry.
I
I
can't
kind of.
see a world in which Ida's going to be like furious.
I mean,
I mean, we
her-
don't have to
Maybe
give
like,
him any
hey,
more
someone-
information.
That's what I
give her
said. Like
signal.
he'll pay us for information. We don't have to give him anything, and I don't want
Yeah.
to. I don't.
He has to.
We know he's Daggerford. That's why I was like. Oh, here it is. Now he's gonna use this against the town to get Daggerford to come in. That's the problem.
But then we can back Ida and we can.
Yeah, I mean it's all
deal
just
with it then.
politics, and they'll deal with it. We don't have to deal with that part. We can deal with it.
Yeah.
whenever
We
they
could
want.
use
here's
it
the-
to our
here's the thing
advantage
about-
too.
You,
And here's the thing about politics, you guys, is people in politics are used to people shuffling alliances back and forth, and they know that it is a dirty, slippery game. So, you guys aren't politicians. You're bound to screw up now and then, especially if you're new to the politics game. So don't go damning yourselves until you're actually damned. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
have some confidence in yourselves.
I would agree. We should make a decision. We've been talking about this for a while now. Let's do something, and then let's
And
go
if-
forward.
You know what we
Okay.
could do is.
Yeah,
we could even,
I understand you softskins are always afraid you die, but let's make a
Can you
decision.
stop calling me a soft skin? I mean, I do
there
have
it
a
is.
name, and it is Illyria Payne, and you may refer to me as
Ah.
Illyria or Miss Payne, whichever you choose. I don't care. Just don't call me a soft skin, please.
I
Thank
can
you.
refer to you as a soft skin.
No,
No.
Who knows?
no.
Well, we'll get there eventually, I'm sure.
No, it
let's make
should
it-
be now. I mean, I don't want to be. You know me. We're going to be grouped together. Learn our names.
Yes, you have.
I'm not.
You have hair and skin and a very lovely orca friend. That's how I know you.
Illyria.
Let's why don't we make friends, or not make friends, but why don't we offer to privateer for the town or something, and that puts Ida in a good light, if that's who we want to side with, or I don't know.
All right, so you guys are having this conversation as late that night the fog lifts, and as it rises up, the weather patterns that Druid Ranger predicted are slowly coming into play. This is your opportunity around 9 p.m. to try to get that ship into port before the heavy rain starts up.
Sorry, I want to say one more thing about even though Eliander and he's on the side of Daggerford, even if he knows and he goes and tells all of them, this is what's going on in Saltmarsh. We need to move in. They don't have to necessarily believe him. We could maybe do some other kind of I don't know, smear campaign.
Okay.
Like to deflect what he's saying, and maybe that's why I'm saying we leave it up to Gellin and Ida, and they're politicians. They know what to do, I think.
So, has the name of the ship been changed, or is it still read as Sea Ghost? Because remember, lime green font on the both sides of the ship says Sea Ghost.
I guess that would have been something we could have done in town.
Oh,
was
totally. Yeah,
By
this would have
paint.
been, this would have been during the downtime or whatever. Yeah.
To change the colors.
Okay.
I'd like a different name, but that's just me. But
Okay.
I mean, we
Just
should,
say that
we should
now.
get
I
a
think we
different name
should.
regardless, because
It's yeah.
that'll help with the establishing like
Now,
What if we name it the Illyria to help certain party members remember names?
now Haxel,
No, I'm good on that. Thanks.
Haxel does know, as a smuggler, he does know of a technique called squibbing, wherein you basically take your stolen car to the auto body shop and they make it not look like the car that you stole. Now, squibbing a ship does take several days and it does cost a pretty penny. But if you really wanted to erase any evidence that this ship was the Sea Ghost, you could pull into a less than reputable port, get it squibbed, and then return to Saltmarsh.
You know what? I say we just return with it as it is, and then we tell them we captured this and we stop a smuggling operation in the name of whomever we side with, whether
Oh,
it be Ida or.
that's bold and
And
spicy.
then everybody sees it like, oh shit, you guys actually took a boat, captured it. Look at all the good they're doing, and somebody reaps the benefits of that.
Yeah, nearby crew that are eavesdropping, they're like, that's a good one. That's good. This Stagram, yeah. They give you a thumbs up as they get, go back to doing the rigging and sails and whatnot.
So really, it's the biggest thing is while we're underway, we need to decide who we want to back, and then that's how we make our play, and then we go from there.
Alrighty.
And if not, we just pick
well,
one and then see how it goes.
I would recommend we move up to the lizard folk to learn more about their plight, but what do you all think?
Yeah, we're gonna go do that after we turn in Sigma.
Yeah, we
and
just gotta settle this whole business with old Sigma and stuff, and then we go help out your lizard folk friends.
She just keeps spitting acid everywhere. We just run her off the ship. Stop. Just stop it.
So,
You see, I stepped in some earlier.
I think the best decisions will be made by throwing everyone into the deep end of the pool. So you guys arrive back in Saltmarsh. It does take over 2 hours to get there because you're trying to play it safe. The clouds are really starting to kind of form up there, up top. So you guys are rolling in around 11 p.m. at night. You roll into the harbor. Not completely unusual. The port does operate at all hours because, people are traveling, different travel times and all that jazz. So the master of the dock is there. Well, he isn't there, but like his rep for the night shift is there. And she sees you guys approach. Are you flying the colors as well? Or are you just you're flying no colors, but it says Sea Ghost on the ship?
I would suggest no colors.
Yeah, we struck the colors, but
Okay.
before we pull in, I want to make sure everyone understands that Haxel does not think we should pull in, does not think we should choose a side, and doesn't see any reason for it. But I'm down.
Yeah, can we go elsewhere?
Well, again, I mean, here's the thing. There's one ship, there's 6 of you, and there's 1 of me. So, I'm going to run a game for the majority vote. So, the true democracy of where you guys want to go. But I need you to...
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So, I need you guys to chat. Yeah, from what I understand, the majority sounds like they want to go to Saltmarsh and turn in the captain and settle the affairs here.
Okay.
I missed
Sounds good.
almost everything, but I generally choose to not pick a side.
Okay.
So I probably side with Haxel on this one.
Well, the only thing I'm
Yeah,
trying to
it sounds
figure
like we
out
have 2 for, 2 against right now.
do you go to Saltmarsh or not is what I need to know, because I need to move the game in some kind of direction. So do you guys go to Saltmarsh or not? Type into Roll20 chat Saltmarsh or no Saltmarsh, and that will be how we determine where we're going to go. But I need every person to cast a vote. There's no, my character wouldn't vote. I would go with the flow, etc., etc.
So I think by not choosing a side,
I can't. You have to choose.
No. I chose a side.
Yeah.
I chose a side. I think
So
by
So I'm wondering if we do like a quick Saltmarsh and then we kind of like go elsewhere. That kind
Yeah,
of
we
Yeah,
can.
we could
All
do
right,
that.
all I need to
Yeah.
know is before this rain sets in, with your ship that is undercrewed and could not limp away
Yeah.
from the
Yeah,
coastline.
and it's damaged.
Yeah,
we
we-
have to go there. We have no choice.
I need to know where the hell your ship is going, guys. You have to make decisions here.
Well,
Like-
we're trying to discuss it. We're
Yeah.
trying to discuss it.
So that's why I'm saying I need people to just chime in of where to go.
It looks like we have a majority. So let's go to Saltmarsh.
All right, let's go.
Saltmarsh, and then flow. So Saltmarsh and then elsewhere. All right. So divided, to be sure. You guys sail in late at night. The dock mistress, who is keeping track of the docks during the night shift, is there. She's an individual by the name of Nithos Grud. What a weird name, but it's Forgotten Realms. Why not? So Nithos Grud, she eyes your ship and the damage on the ship, and you guys, and everything. And she says, "So, you new in Saltmarsh? I don't have papers. I don't have a sea ghost in my log here. Who speaks for the ship?" And she's a gruff Chandalan woman, very stocky, short cut hair, bushy kind of eyebrows, scar on the face, probably from like a fish hook. And she's just kind of staring at everybody.
And sorry, I'm happy to be the face. I just don't know what we're trying to do. So
Okay.
Sorry
Right
about
now,
that.
you're simply trying to secure a space at the docks. You're just trying to get like a spot to dock your ship. Is all you're trying to do.
okay.
We should probably. I mean, I bet old lady Ida would probably pay the docking fees for this here vessel.
This is the same exact same problem we had last time, where we asked Ida to do everything for us,
Yeah.
and then the town finds out. It's the exact same problem we had when we first came back with the Jolly Boat.
But I
Right.
think it's not a problem now because everyone knows regardless. The dude has probably already spread the word that. I mean, maybe not because it was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but
Okay. So Nithos Grud, she kind of looks at all of you and she says, "So there's no captain on the ship?"
we
Is
don't
that-
have any papers.
Ah,
We're
you don't...
sort of captaining by committee at this point. We haven't really figured it out.
Oh, I see. So this is a delicate matter, you might say.
It
And
is.
and her bushy eyebrows kind of waggle a little bit.
And
And she
I
says,
oh, go ahead.
it's good that you came in this late at night then. Because I run a special on extremely discreet, delicate paperwork. If you take my meaning.
And I laugh. I do. I take your meaning. And
Mhm.
can I check to see how well I believe her or how
Yeah,
convincing she is?
sure.
Well, I have no idea.
Okay. All right. Yeah, let's see. Some not great rolls tonight. Yeah, this woman, you take the meaning that she's going to accept a bribe to basically let the ship stay here for a little bit and not make a big deal about it. Haxel, you are very familiar with this behavior as a smuggler.
Yeah. Hey, do we still have those? Yeah. All right.
So basically, what she is asking, Haxel and friends, I say Haxel because you have the background for it. The port fees here to register a ship of your size category, I believe. What do you guys have? A size
Sloop.
2?
Did
1?
did you say she was
What
a
size ship
dwarf?
are you? No, she's a Chondathan human.
okay.
So kind of tanner like skin, and then brown hair, brown eyes. That's generally they're very much like the every human are the Chondathans. So if you homogenized all the humans into one human race. That would be the Chondathans. All right. So let's see. Saltmarsh crew information. Here we go. Just got to check the size of your ship real quick.
How long do you guys want to maintain ourselves in port? We've been here for a little while.
It's only a size 1 ship, so you guys are good.
Um,
Normally, Haxel and friends, it is 5 gold a day for a ship of this size. Nithos Grud tells you, so the name of this ship, I can't quite read it from here. What was it again? Because I'm having trouble reading it, but I know that for, say, 25 gold, I could write down whatever name you tell me it says, because I don't have my readers, you see, so I'm having trouble reading what ship this is. And I didn't catch the name of the captain, so I guess whatever name you tell me is the name of the captain, and I'll just make sure to put that in my book.
It's the Smiling Snugglers.
All right.
Captain
She writes down Smiling Snugglers. Okay. And who's the captain here?
Captain Care Bear.
Captain Care Bear. I've heard of him. He's a druid. Fantastic. All right. Well, Captain Care Bear and friends, have a wonderful time in Saltmarsh. And I'll make sure to tell the day shift. They don't need to ask too many questions here. I do notice that you've taken on a little damage, no doubt from some aggressive fishing that might have transpired out at sea. Do you require any repairs done? Because I know some discreet individuals who could probably patch that up for you. For maybe, she kind of eyes it appraisingly, kind of holds her lantern up. 150 gold.
So if we had it repaired on like the up and up, and I assisted with it as a shipwright, could I get the cost of that?
Oh, it would be much cheaper.
Yeah, we could fix it ourselves. We just need to get in here and then give up the captain and we get out.
Yeah.
We don't have to have her fix it for us. We can fix it ourselves with real people.
Oh, it's not as bad as it looks. It was a huge marlin, incredibly large, but we've got a shipwright.
I dare say it must have been a rockfish.
Yeah, yeah,
Huge.
you could say that.
Yeah, I've seen that sort of damage before. It's definitely a rockfish. No shame in that. Sometimes when you're new at captaining, you bump into things. I'm sure Captain Care Bear will get the hang of it. All right. That being said, you just bought yourselves. She kind of does some thinking. She says, meet me here at sunset tomorrow, and I'll ensure the discretion continues. Otherwise, I make no promises.
That sounds delightful. I can't wait to see you again.
All right. If you're looking for a place to stay, my buddy Kreb Shanker has a nice place called the Empty Net. One of the classiest places in town.
Oh, aye. The fighting pits are the classiest I've ever seen.
Yeah, she smiles real big at you and waggles them bushy eyebrows and flexes some of them muscles. And she starts barking orders at a handful of night crew to sort of secure your ship and all that. Are you leaving anyone on the ship? Are you bringing anyone off the ship? You do have some interesting cargo and passengers here. So what is the play?
I'll stay on the ship.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay on the ship and start like doing some repairs or whatever I can, and then urge everyone on board, all the old crew members, that they should stay below and don't make themselves known for now.
All right. Sly is like, what, are we wanted or something? Like, I haven't caused no trouble in Saltmarsh. Last time I was here, I had a great time.
When should we ask the crew to come back? How about in the morning?
I mean, we could do that if we want to let them go.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, it'd be good, like, like for morale. Like we don't like we trust him a little bit.
Yeah. If you want to
like-
come back and serve us, then come back and serve us. If not,
Yeah.
Oh,
best of luck.
damn.
They're not prisoners.
Wow, that's one of those if you love someone, set them free situations. Yeah, they kind of look shocked that you actually. They look at Sly like, "Damn, girl, what did you do?" Because they can't believe that you are trusting them to go ashore, and it has an impact on them. It really does. They're just like, "Well, shit." So the dwarves say, "Nah, we'll stay here with Brother Thogrum. But you all lots, you go drink." Ruts, make merry. Double time for me and my brother. And they will stay and help you work on the ship.
Nice.
All right. So it's late at night. Do you want to go? You have your special passenger winky wink face.
Yeah, do we have a poison-proof sack we can put over our heads?
Yeah, this is like a caustic, like burning poison. It's really
Yeah.
close to being an acid while somehow still being poison because Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, so like it doesn't melt like the ropes or anything, but it's just like dribbling down her chin. It's like stained her shirt.
Okay, so I think
It's like a lime green, kind of like your acid is, like poison.
yeah. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to hold her and we'll gag her, and then I'll give the lady managing the dock an extra 10 gold to not say anything as we take her.
Oh, she
as we
says,
take her
I
out
hope
of-
you and your lady friend have a nice time this evening. Seems like you already got started on that fancy curator bondage I've been reading about. And she gives you a swat on the ass as you go by. So, and you hear her happily jangling all the money that she's making. And anybody that gets close to the ship, she says, don't mind that. Keep going. Keep going. All right. So, you guys head into town with your prisoner in tow. You are going where? Are you going to the Owland Estate? Are you going to the Prime Water Estate? Are you going to keep this prisoner at Illyria's house, Pulp Fiction style? Like, what are you going to do?
How much would you say a cask of dwarven rum costs?
It's one of those things like quantity based, basically. But dwarven alcohol is always considered a little bit more price than everybody else. So you know, like 2 gold for like a cheap one, like any, and then just up from there.
So I'll just give somebody that's going into town, I don't know, one of them to pick me and the 2 dwarven fellas a cask of dwarven ale for helping.
All right.
I'll do that. They're free.
All right, sounds good. So you are dealing with that. Everybody else is so you're gonna keep an eye out for that. Where do you guys want to take your prisoner?
I don't think we want to wake up Ida. I think we should go to our Gallon. But that totally, like, whatever you guys think, I think that'd be the best. I don't think because any other input, I'm
All right.
Gellin?
Yeah, we don't know anything about Gellin really yet, so.
Well,
Yeah,
it's like
well-
hinted that he was.
well, he and Ida are working together, and they're the ones that gave us the contract. So
She didn't know who Ida was.
who? Who didn't
This
know who?
Sigma didn't know who Ida was. She only knew who Prime Rider was. When we
Oh,
questioned.
I see what you're saying. But Prime Water's just closer to the dock, so I just like I don't want to like drag this.
Prime
this
Water
badly-
lives at Prime Water lives here at 16. And I believe Owland lives at 19, which is also right on the water.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, so as you're walking, you'd probably get to Owland's place before you got to Prime Water. Owland lives in that weird Weasley house, you know, that looks like a bunch of houses stacked on top of
Yeah.
each other, and they got grandkids running around and dogs and cats everywhere. And whereas Prime Water lives in like a Miami Beach like drug dealer mansion on the inner canal area.
I don't want to show kids like this
Really, we walked through the town with a dude that was completely naked and high.
On
You
a
read about a prisoner?
on a scaled miniature pony. Yeah.
That was consensual, though.
I mean, she still has her undergarments, right? And like her underclothes for her armor. She just doesn't have her.
She's bound
studded
and
leather.
gagged, and I have a sack over her head.
Yeah, just throw a tarp around her.
Well, it said it would be faster to go to Ida anyway.
Well, you would pass it before you got to Gellen's.
Oh,
but,
okay.
I mean,
thought
it is yeah. Because you guys came into port. Here, I'll put a marker down for where your ship is at.
There's lots of piers.
Yeah. So I'll put a marker down where you guys' ship is at.
Yeah, and like I don't know how other people feel, but I'm a little uncertain of like what's kind of the next steps for our kind of game next Sunday.
All right, so your ship is here.
So sorry.
Yeah.
But so I'm kind of curious what people are thinking about, like in terms of our next steps.
Okay. We have your ship being taken care of, sort of, on the DL. You've set your crew free, and if they love you, they'll return. If you want to begin a life at sea, you are going to need to repair the ship, and you are going to need to crew up to 20. You have promised the lizard folk that you will sell them the guns in exchange for the 2,000 in Electrum trade bars, and you'll return them to their people. At least that's what they think.
Yeah, and I feel like we have a lot of things like kind of like on, like we have a lot of things going on, and it's not super focused. And so if you guys have things you'd like to focus on, and we can do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Shouldn't we worry about Sigma first, since that's what we're doing right now?
The current situation,
and not
is
really
you're walking through the streets at midnight in Saltmarsh.
Yeah,
for sure.
There's not going to be a lot of people.
Yeah, with this lady. And again, I'm not trying to like reveal anything about my own life, but if you are confident enough about what you're doing, no one will bother you. This is real IRL advice. If you look like you're supposed to be doing something and you look like you're supposed to be there, nobody's gonna say anything. So again, it's very much about the reality that you guys are creating, with your presence, with your attitudes, with your selves. You've got to really be confident in what you're doing. That's going to carry you a lot of the way through this. So you have this lady. So you have this lady. Do you want to go? Where do you want to go with her? You want to take her to Eleander at the guard tower?
Nope.
And just turn her into the guards. So no, you don't want to do that. Do you want to go to the Weasley estate and hand her over to Owland?
No, because of these kids.
Okay, so you're going to go to the mansion then?
I'll ask Illyria to trust me. Do you want me to persuasion roll or what?
Or do you want to stash her at Illyria or Thogram's house until you figure out your next move?
She was there.
Why is the town
kids
guard
gonna
pulled out?
Yeah, why? Like we should. I want to be careful as to who we turn her over to.
Okay.
All right. I'll drop her in the middle of the street and I'll walk away.
Let's just go to my house. Let's go to my house.
Whoever you turn her into, that faction will be extremely appreciative of what you have done. Let me put it that way. So if this was a Worlds of Warcraft situation for anybody that's played that, your faction gain for turning in this quest NPC is very high. But it's one of those things that you don't, if you go high with one, you're going to drop with the rivals. So you have to decide who you want to turn her into. Like right now, you needed to get the ship repaired. You did not have any options for that. Like if you hung out on the coastline next to the house that crawls, eventually passing ships would see you. They would engage with you. You'd have to deal with that reality. So Haxel, as a smuggler, you didn't have too many options of where to take the ship safely without having to worry about other pirates, sea monsters, sea devils, etc., etc. So while it sucks to have brought the ship in, bringing it in at night allowed you at least some discretion with storing the ship and that. So you do have that on your side. But yeah, you guys need to make decisions about what you want to do with this prisoner, and what you want out of the campaign moving forward is the other thing. It sounds like some of you would be more than content to hop on the ship and spend the rest of the campaign exploring like the Moonshay Islands and being pirates and all that jazz. That is completely okay. The events affecting the area will affect you even if you're not in Saltmarsh. Even though Saltmarsh is the titular name of the adventure, like the whole region is being affected by the things that are going on in this campaign. Those of you who want to stay in Saltmarsh, like you haven't eliminated anything in town yet. Like everything is still on the board. All the pieces are still in play.
Well,
Yeah.
what if we bring her to Illyria's house and decide over the intervening week what
Okay.
faction we want to align with, if any?
If any, right? Like honestly, if you wanted to, you could. Some people have suggested just killing her and disposing of the body. Nobody gets her. You get the ship fixed. You leave. You hang out with the lizard folk. Maybe see what they're about. There's nothing wrong with that either. There's nothing you guys do is going to be the wrong choice. Is what I want to get across to you guys. Please do not be afraid of making the wrong choice. You guys are the story. So what you guys decide to do is the story. Like you don't have to worry about breaking the game. You don't have to worry about breaking me. I've been doing this for like 26 years. What I'm worried about is you guys breaking yourselves here with these tough decisions. Like what I do need is I need you guys to be in a general true democracy like agreement, because I can't run separate games. Do you know what I mean? Like I need to be able to run a game for all of you at the same time. So whatever you guys decide to do, I need you to be all on board or 80% on board for what you're doing, and that might require some of you to compromise a little bit.
If this is helpful, I will trade her life for the guns going to the lizard folk.
You just want to eat her.
I mean,
he wants to take the body, and then
the lizard folk did offer you a lot of shinies for that woman's body because they want to eat her up.
So I will totally, like, you guys can do whatever you want to with her, but I really care about the lizard folk. So that's Toothless's / Greg's perspective.
This is a very fascinating group because you are all, and I'm not trying to inflate your egos, but you're all very intelligent. So like you guys think about things a lot harder, I think, than a lot of my other groups.
Overanalyze.
Like a lot of my other groups are just like, I don't know, let's just do this. And they're like, yeah, Leroy Jenkins. And
Martin looked at me funny. Let's kill him.
Right, yeah. You guys are just like, is this a guy lich? Maybe this is a vampire. Vampire lich werewolf? Demon worshipping vampire lich werewolf? And I'm just like, wow, I should take notes on this. Like, this is amazing. Like, so again, I need to say this again. You guys cannot break this campaign. So together, decide what you want to do, and we will do it. Like, I am here for you guys to run this game for you. So please, please, please do not be paralyzed with indecision because you think that you're going to choose the wrong thing. Okay? That's what I'm talking about with confidence, right? Whatever you guys do, even if it's the wrong thing, it is the right thing if you guys are confident about what you're doing. Because you're the main characters. All right?
Oh. What does it matter?
No, and trust me, if you watch the stream from the other game, you would realize like that you don't want to copy off their work either.
This is like the heart events in Harvest Moon. Like, do I?
Yeah. So the other group, which is evil, right? They have like a bunch of pets. They spend an entire day at like the festival, like eating pies and like playing games and stuff. They're my quote unquote evil party. And they have like some of the most wholesome stuff going on ever. And then like you guys are just like this like faction war like, who should we serve? We serve no one. We serve ourselves, but do we? And then like, there's all this like politics and stuff like that. It's just so fascinating to see the two different groups and how they are playing out. It's amazing. And you guys are actually managing to stay on the same calendar days, which is kind of neat. Despite any delays and whatnot, you guys are roughly on the same exact day on the calendar too. And they're experiencing the same weather patterns and all that jazz. So it's really neat to see. Okay, so I'm sorry if it was stressful with choices. But again, once you're more confident with the choices that you're making, I think you'll be able to make them a lot easier. Again, you're trying to get a feel for the group and the campaign and all that. It might be beneficial for you guys to have a very meta conversation in chat and just say, these are the things that my character values. And when you see all that out on the table, you guys might be able to work on a goal, like a shared party goal that makes everybody sort of happy. Because sometimes everybody being sort of happy is the best you can do if you have a lot of different goals and conflicting personalities and stuff.
Yeah, I and kind of to add to that, like I really agree. I think like I'm pretty comfortable like in like super like combat-y D&D games, role-playing games. So if I come across as being like too yeah, like too strong in one direction, like I totally don't mean it to be. And so I apologize for that. Anyway, so that was poorly stated, but I like you all.
Well, this is a very different kind of game. The combination of it being a sandbox, but also introducing like nautical elements and underwater elements and things like that. And there's like urban elements to it as well because of the city of Saltmarsh. Again, my other group is out there in the swamp right now, just wrecking stuff. Like they're not embroiled in any of the politics and stuff that you guys are in. They're just out there murder hoboing their best murder hobo life. Like it doesn't have to be a political game.
That's
like
where I want to be.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like so I don't want you guys to feel like you have to do any of this stuff, okay? So like yeah, you guys need to get together as a group and figure out what you want and then go get it. And I am here to deliver that to you. All I am is a living game engine that is responding to your input. In the last couple of sessions, that input has been a whole lot of indecision about what you're going to do next. And I don't want to railroad you in what is supposed to be a miniature sandbox game. Like, I want you to feel that whatever path you took, you guys chose to take that path together. Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
I love the idea of like values, like person values and PC values.
Yeah,
And
like have a full
so
meta have a full meta conversation about it. My Tuesday group, we go meta all the time in chat between games because we want the 3 hours a week that we spend playing D&D to be as efficient and effective as possible. So we get all of the nonsense stuff out of the way in between sessions. And Red/Skull can attest. We do a pretty good job of knocking all that stuff out before the game starts, and we pretty much just hit the ground running when it's time to do the game. And we murder hobo it up, and sometimes we BS our way through things. But we do it with just the bold confidence.
A lot of confidence.
Yeah, the bold confidence of people who are just owning whatever they're doing. So if you own whatever you're doing, you're gonna have a good time. So just get together and figure that out. All right, guys.
Next character.
I will leave you guys with that. You have all week to figure out your next move. No worries for me. I have lots of stuff ready for whatever direction you decide to go in. I got a lot of prep done for this campaign. I am eagerly await what your decision is. So,
cool.
All right.
Awesome.
Night.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Thanks, Crush.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Good night.
Later.